Columbus. Your home for the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1. You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Tuesday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. We call this guy the Swiss Army knife, but you know his government name is Richard Holt. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, DJ. Glad to be here on this Tuesday.
Tuesday indeed. Big shout out to Calvary Christian. They punched their ticket to the next round.
Yeah, they did it. They battled against Bullock Academy. It was just a back and forth game. Calvary able to pull it off, and they will face Brookstone next. This is the matchup we all wanted to see, and we're going to have 3 days of just an incredible series with these two Columbus schools.
It's going to take me back Tuesday kind of day, and we're excited about it. Thank you for allowing us to help you get your day started. But just let's do this. To all of our lovely friends out there in Sportsvisions, again, at Facebook land, as well as YouTube, we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started, as you know. But we also have some guys, and do we have them checked in yet? Let's just go. Let's go to the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Let's go to the leaderboard. See who's up there this morning.
Let's see. We got Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. Every little step I take.
You.
Yeah. Oh, you got a little harmony there.
Yeah, a little
brother.
bit. Little bit.
I like the hair too. Got a little gel going in there. You're starting to feel it now. You really are.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to grow my hair out. People are like, "Yeah, what happened to your hair?"
Yeah,
I have not seen you with this much hair, and I'm like, "That's the point."
Yeah, got a good gray, good body. I mean, you got some expensive mousse on there. It looks like.
Yeah, well, maybe less than $5, but no, we got Bobby Brown, we got Rodney Lawrence.
Yeah,
so,
from the hill, from over there, these went. I like that. Hey, good. Well, thank you guys. I mean, you guys help us get our day started, and like I said, I really appreciate it. And again, you don't know how much it makes me feel, Richard. I don't know how it makes you feel, but the fact that you got folks that are getting in there and getting in. I mean, they understand. I mean, if these guys were on your team, these were the guys going to be sitting at the front of the class. These were guys are going to be leading the laps. These are the guys that are going to be the coach's eyes and ears in the locker room. I mean, these are the guys.
Yeah, these are the guys that are going to be leading from the front. They're checking in before the show even starts.
Yep.
And they're still on the Facebook page right when we sign off.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Hey, look, and for all of our friends out there in, of course, WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 921 land, we love you. But it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Tell somebody. Richard, let's get this party started. Hey, we're broadcasting from the PMB studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus. Of course, just about a 50-yard dash from the Aflac Tower gates up the street there. Just a little bit, man. I tell you what, Richard, we got to measure that off.
Yeah, you can actually walk over there, play Ding Dong Ditch, and come right back to this.
What is Ding Dong Ditch?
Ding Dong Ditch is a game that we went to people's houses. We rang the doorbell, and we ran. I'm talking we ran because, nowadays it's too dangerous to play that game. But, we could do that at the Aflac Tower.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, man, the Columbus Clingstones are back in town, so we got a loaded weekend. Of course, we got the Clingstones, we got the Columbus Lions, we got the United. What else do we have?
Right now, the three sports, like the River Dragon season is done. So we've got the Lions, Clingstones, and Columbus United. And we do have some local small that I want to say they're small.
Watch out now. Watch it.
I know. But you got the ABA with the Columbus Skyhawks. Yep. You got the Chattahoochee Bears, and you got the Columbus Georgia Vipers and the PBA.
Because you walk into those gyms after calling them small, you're going to have to fight, bro.
I do understand that, but I do want to give them some love because they want to play the sports, and so they've organized these leagues, and I appreciate we have supported them, and I wanted to give them their flowers and just kind of shout them out this morning.
Yeah, but just leave off those other little words.
Don't little say small.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you could start off like not having a whole lot of funds, not having a whole lot of eyeballs, and then get bigger, and having a platform like this just to mention them, I think that could make a difference.
Because you wouldn't want them to say, you're a little podcast. I wouldn't want to say little Sportsvisions radio. I mean, come on, we're prideful. We're prideful. Right. We do this. We created this. So you always and again, that's how I live. I kind of try to put the shoe on the other foot when I'm saying things about people, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you still don't want to just demean anybody.
And I don't mean to say small. I want to shout these out. The Columbus Storm.
What comes up comes out.
I know. The Columbus Storm.
Yep.
They're the outdoor professional, semi-professional team that plays at Garrett Harrison Stadium. And then Columbus Elite FC, they are in the UPSL, and they play at Otis Spencer Stadium.
Big shout out to all the kids that had the opportunity to sign yesterday. You had the pleasure of going out to Shaw.
Absolutely.
Shaw U. And Richard, I want you to take a crack at trying to remember some of those names that I know that we did have some others that popped up on social media, which means that again, it was just a great day all in all. But out at Shaw yesterday, how did it go?
Absolutely, I was out there. Chris was out there, and they signed 7 players. I like how they do it. They take out each player individually, their individual sport. We did have 3 basketball players. We had a volleyball player. It actually got it started. Lauren Robinson was the volleyball player. We did have a soccer player. Jazzy Unrain was the soccer player. And we had a cross-country / track runner, and that was Gavin Gardner. But we had a baseball player, Jeremiah Levitt, and we had 3 basketball players. On the boys' side, Brendan Houston Baldwin. And then on the girls' side, we had Kashai Walcott and Brooke Shipp.
Wonderful. So how was what was the experience? How was the turnout?
Pretty big atmosphere. They allowed the students to watch the signing day. Shaw does that. They do it during the middle of the day when school is still in session to allow the students to see their classmates, their peers.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I do like the way that they do their signing day, just to bring out the athletes individually, because it's their moment. It's their time to shine. Sometimes you'll see all the athletes at the table all at once. And that's great if it's the same sport.
Yes.
But if it's a different sport, the coaches will come up to the podium and they will announce their players. I love how they do that. And, the principal was out there. The athletic director, Vivian Special, introduced the coaches and the players. I thought they did it big over there at Shaw, and it's the last signing day for the calendar year.
Congratulations. I really appreciate the fact that they took the time to, of course, and again, they go on all over the Chattahoochee Valley, all over East Alabama, West Central Georgia. And I tell you, man, it's just it's great that and that's what these kids work for all of these years, for 4 years in high school. And of course, putting in the work, being disciplined, doing the right things. And now, they get the free education.
Yeah, there's like Corey Black says, D-free.
D-free. Want to also give a big shout out to the Long Twins, man, of boys Kingsley and Kingston. They have committed to Point University.
Yes.
So, I know after much prayer, and I know that again they have been just outstanding young men. And of course, they started their career at Carver. They ended up transferring to Shaw, and they didn't participate with that particular signing, but all in all, I think that these young men, and I've been following them for a while, and matter of fact, they're in my family.
Yeah.
And, but I'm so proud of the young men that they have become, and we wish them well as they go up to Point University. Andre Kennebrew, my good friend and childhood buddy, is on the board of directors up there, and I know that he will definitely be looking over those guys as well. When it's a family and you talk about the village, of course. Now that they're at Point, and when I let him know that they have signed up there, if he probably already knows, and he's a sports fanaholic. But to know that a couple of kids from Columbus, Georgia, are going to be coming up there, and not just a couple of kids, twins that are damn good baseball players. Who again, I'm still expecting some big things. Don't know how long they'll be able to stay at Point. I'm thinking that they might have some. I know they have aspirations of playing at the next level, but I'm sure that they have the talent, and hopefully they'll be developed to the point of them being able to, of course, for their dreams to come true.
Yeah, I've covered the Long Twins since they were freshmen, when they were freshmen at Carver, and appreciate their mom just appreciating us for live streaming their games.
What's up, Say?
And they do a great job just promoting themselves. They've had like baseball clinics for Sally Little League. And we're just so proud of them. And I know that they're not that far away if we want to catch them at the collegiate level, just 45 minutes up the road.
Shout out to Say and Reggie Chrome. That's his mom and stepmom and stepfather. And they have been, you're talking about, commitment. Those guys out there, you're talking about having some parents in your corner. Those are 2 great parents. And again, I appreciate all the information, all the inclusion that they've had me being a part of the life of those Long Twins. And hey, man, look, just another exciting chapter to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just reminds me back when they started and of seeing them being some of the top players to help Shaw get to the playoffs and make it the last 3 seasons, hosting a home playoff game, getting to the second round twice. I know that Shaw's going to miss them, as well as Jeremiah Lovett. I mean, we've had some pretty good Shaw baseball players come through the last couple of years. I know the Long Twins are right up there on that list.
And while we're talking high school baseball, big shout out to, of course, the Calvary Christian Knights. We had Coach Steve Smith on the other day, and he was really, adamant about the rain is kind of, creating a little havoc with regards to scheduling and all. But he was able to punch their ticket to the next round, man. They're going to be playing Brookstone.
The matchup we all want to see, Calvary, Brookstone. This 3-game series in the regular season was close. It was a 1-run, 2-run differential between these two teams.
Yes.
And Brookstone ended up winning the series 2-3, but it's evenly matched. I honestly think that Calvary can come in and give Brookstone a game. I cannot wait. Because of graduation, they're spreading out this series.
Now, make sure you take your time and explain this because, again, I know that Greg Mathis was on with us the other day, and he talked about how, this is going to be a little complicated. But for the sake of folks that are listening out there that want to come to the games and have to deal with understanding the scheduling, share with that. Richard.
So we all know Brookstone does not have lights, so they got to get these games in early. Usually doubleheaders, they'll start like at 2. They know that Calvary graduates on Friday, Brookstone graduates on Saturday. So what they are going to do, they're going to have a game on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The start times are going to be 2, 12 on Friday, and then 2 on Saturday. The Saturday game is an if necessary game if it goes to a game 3. But we've got Calvary and Brookstone, and guess what? We got you covered. We're going to have these games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Great deal. Now, what has been the history of these two teams during the regular season?
So they are rivals. Last year, Calvary took 2 out of 3 against Brookstone. Brookstone took 2 out of 3 this year. So far, they have an even record in the regular season the last 2 years in the GIAA. And I don't know the history of Calvary playing Brookstone when they were in the gaps. I'll have to look back. But Calvary in their second year in the GIAA, this is their big rivalry game. And I expect a ton of fans to be at A.L. Just Field on the campus of Brookstone. Calvary, Brookstone, I tell you, this is a very special rivalry, especially with Calvary making their second year in the GIAA. And when it comes to 2 top baseball teams in the private area here in Columbus, Calvary and Brookstone have really set the standards. Great coaching staff, and just the feeder system. The Calvary Middle School, we talk about the Brookstone feeder system with their middle school. And they've done a great job developing baseball talent up here in Columbus. And I can't wait for the series.
We were talking baseball signing day. And, of course, there's some tremendous baseball college prospects will be in this game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've got several players that are going to be signing. Obviously, we know about Brendan Neal. He's only a junior, but he's already committed to Auburn. Can't wait to see where he signs, or if he gets drafted by the major leagues. That's possibility because we have a lot of signees. I'm trying to get the list together. We had Trip Ellison sign. We had Liam Holcutt sign for Calvary. I got to see where the other players have signed, but I just received a text. Those times are not set in stone. So I kind of jumped the gun. I apologize.
Okay.
But I just received a text message. Hold off on those start times because that is not set in stone. So I apologize.
What about the days? Have the days been set?
The days have not been set. So mum's the word. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet.
Okay.
Hopefully that didn't spread out here at 6:14.
No, of course it did. It did. I mean, people have already made reservations. People have made flight. I mean, it didn't take, but you got the phones now, so all the relatives around the country that's watching on the Sportsvisions radio app, and that come flying in for the Calvary and the Brookstone folks, man, you've screwed up a bunch of stuff here. But
oh my goodness,
you know what? That's okay. Richard, I'm glad you were able to catch it because maybe they can catch it. But I'm sure that as soon as you said the word, they were able to go ahead and start to make those reservations and but hopefully, like I said, they can cancel them and redo them. And when will we get the information?
We should be able to get that information
later today,
because we are going to have confirmation from both coaches later today. So we will get the word out when it's officially the start times. There's still a lot of moving parts. We know Calvary graduates on Friday. Brookstone graduates on Saturday. We know that Brookstone does not have lights. They're trying to figure this out to try to make everybody happy. You don't want to have too early of a start time, but with Calvary graduating on Friday, you may have to have an early start time to make sure the game is finished so those players can go walk with their class.
I think are they going to include you in that in Zoom? They're going to zoom you in on that meeting?
I hope so. Because,
I mean, hey, look, we're the first ones to get the word out, so they might want to do that if they know what's good for them.
Absolutely.
Hey, look, let's take a break. Ricky Rogers, Rodney Lawrence, Bobby Brown, thank you for joining us this morning. Hey, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. The Supreme Court is letting the state of Alabama get rid of one of its large black congressional districts and use a map that has one majority black district. The decision was made after the court struck down a majority black U.S. House district in Louisiana as an illegal racial gerrymander. Staying in Alabama, a Chambers County jury convicted Jasper Barringer in the 2018 stabbing of two girls in Valley. Prosecutors say he forced his way into the girls' home on Jennings Street and stabbed them. The girls survived, but Barry was found guilty as charged on counts including attempted murder and first-degree burglary. In Columbus, 3 men are on trial for killing 16-year-old Darius Bryan in 2024. Bryan's father said the murder was not a gang war type incident and that life without parole for the 3 men is the only answer that could make the loss feel easier. The trial is expected to last for 2 weeks. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Tuesday morning. We are off to an overcast and a humid start with rain showers down south across the area. You follow to Americus. Temperatures are going to be mild with readings in the 60s, and the clouds will be slow to break today as that low pressure system skirts the Gulf Coast. Early morning rain exits while remaining cloudy tonight. Temperatures near 60, and we're tracking a weak dry front arriving on Wednesday with more sun in the forecast for the remainder of the week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
Have you filed for disability benefits but were denied by the Social Security Administration? Or do you need to apply and are overwhelmed with paperwork? Are you between the ages of 50 and 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury? Thousands of hardworking Americans are in your situation. They file for disability benefits and are unnecessarily denied their much-needed benefit check. Call now for a no-obligation, free evaluation. We can help you nearly double your chances of approval and get your benefit checks faster. We understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact. We'll share our insider expertise and help you get your disability claim filed and paid immediately. There is a time limit to apply, so call right now. Operators are standing by to help you.
800-714-7917. 800-714-7917. 800-714-7917. That's 800-714-7917.
Want to win a brand new Chevy Trax? Visit SonsChevrolet.com to register and get details. New location coming soon. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Kohl's has styles that make summer feel easy, even when faced with hard decisions like lounging at the pool or on the patio, grilling up a hamburger or hot dog, rolling down the windows or turning up the AC. Yeah, summer is full of tough choices. With 15% off outfits your family will love, getting dressed isn't one of them. Shop effortless looks at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends May 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Watula Methodist Church is having their 50th annual barbecue on Saturday, May 16th from 10:30 to 2. Enjoy a plate of chicken or pork for just $11. Plus, enjoy homemade baked items for sale and live music. Watula Methodist Church, 1370 Lee Road 38 in Opelika.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
Did you know that generic drugs are just as safe and effective as brand name drugs? Generics might look different, but they work the same way. And they can even save you money. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. Or visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
You are waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Great Tuesday morning and welcome back to the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. Tell you what, we are looking forward to a great show today. Of course, we're still honoring Bobby Cox, and I know that the Braves will open up their series tonight with the Cubs, and they will be honoring both Bobby Cox and Ted Turner from everything that I've heard. But we have one of our insiders and one of our contributors who's had experiences with Bobby Cox, and his name is Garey Ingram. You guys know him as the former Columbus High School baseball player that went on to greatness in Major League Baseball, and of course playing with the LA Dodgers, and then of course the many years, 15 years of as a minor league manager. And it's great to when you can hear a lot of people and talk about. And over the last couple of days I've heard many conversations about Bobby Cox, what he meant to people and who the impact he's made on their lives. I've heard from players, I've heard from announcers, I've heard from sports broadcasting folks. But it's nothing like hearing from somebody who has experienced being in the camp, being in the room with, of course, Bobby Cox.
Absolutely. That's why we appreciate Garey Ingram anytime he comes on the Sports Visions morning show, just for that baseball knowledge. But he has experienced it. I know that he's got some stories as he coached under Bobby Cox, and can't wait to have Garey on the show.
Absolutely. He'll be coming up in just a little bit. But also Adrian Lyles. And now the Phoenix City, of course, Central Red Devils Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame, inducted another class on Saturday. And one of those gentlemen that was inducted is Adrian Lyles. And man, I tell you what, when you talk about, just the accomplishments out the yin yang, this guy has done some wonderful things, has coached over 20 years. And 20 of those years at Central, and he's when we mentioned some of the names of some of the lives that he's touched, and you guys probably know them all, and some have gone on to professional football. Certainly, many have gone on to play in the collegiate level. But we'll have an opportunity to catch up with Adrian Lyles. Matter of fact, his son is an All-American, and his son is doing wonderful things. But just a wonderful opportunity for us to really go into the life of Adrian Lyles. He's a guy that obviously he doesn't get a lot of credit, being an assistant coach, but he doesn't want the credit. He wants to make sure that the kids that he coaches gets the credit, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the blessings that have been bestowed on him on Saturday.
Absolutely. And his son, Tristan Lyles, one of the top edge rushers in the state of Alabama, committed to Jacksonville State. So he committed that on the early signing period last December.
Adrian Lyles will be with us at 7, and of course, coming up after that, Jack Patterson, the sports director over at WRBL, he'll come in, and of course, he'll chime in on that Brookstone Calvary Christian rivalry. That baseball game is going to be, what day is it?
It's going to be tentatively Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but we will get the official.
Hold your water on the times.
Got to hold up on the times.
Okay. Also, we'll have from the GHSA office. Of course, this is the guy that's in charge of all the media. His name is Marvin James, and guess what? He's not a regular administrator. This guy is a long-time sportscaster. He has been in the business over 20 years, and what a breath of fresh air with the, of course, the GHSA's office to have a guy that, and I love to say it, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. So he knows the needs, and he knows, credential-wise, he understands the more the merrier, of course, with regards to the proper certification or the proper credentials, when that are tied to your name. He gets it. He gets it. So I'm sure, and I would love to hear from him, and I know we will. What kind of percentages went up as far as how many credentialed media people versus what it was before he took over?
I'm sure that it's quite significant because the industry has changed. We have a different platform now, not just radio and television. We also have the social media and the streaming. But I remember how frustrating it was applying for credentials before Marvin James got there and getting that email stating because you don't work for a TV station with call letters or you don't work for a radio station that's actually broadcasting the game, your application's been denied. But it was motivation. I actually screenshot that email because I keep it in my phone as motivation because the industry's changed. And I feel like I've got to a point where, we can get credentials. And it's because of that partnership and that relationship we've got with Marvin James and knowing what we are trying to do, what we're trying to build, because it's all about covering these student athletes. That's why we appreciate Marvin James and allowing us to cover these events for Sportsvisions, for Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and great having him on the show. And I understand exactly what this business is about, and we just love it when Marvin James comes on.
Absolutely. And again, Marvin will be up a little bit later. Matter of fact, he'll be up at the 8 o'clock hour. And, of course, a little bit after Marvin, we'll have, of course, Mitchell Holt. Mitchell Holt is the national championship winning flag football coach of the Central Lady Red Devils flag football team. And we're going to have him on to talk about a special treat that is coming up. They actually are going to be flying to San Diego in September, and they have been invited by Max Preps to play at the Olympic training facility as part of the national tournament. And they are doing a fundraiser because, again, those plane tickets have to be covered and some other expenses. So we're going to have Mitchell Holt on today to explain exactly everything that he needs done. They are having a special fundraiser with a drawdown ticket. I don't know if you've ever heard of drawdown tickets.
I'm not.
Yeah, but that's a new way of, or not a new way, but that's another way that they're hoping to raise the monies in the funds that they need so that they can cover the cost of all of their team and all of the support staff that's going to go out and play in this national tournament that is sponsored by Max Prep.
Yeah, we appreciate anytime Coach Holt can come on the Sportsvisions morning show. He's a busy guy, especially right around this time. He's got to prepare for his softball team because he's also the softball coach at Central as they get ready for the state tournament. But also he's trying to get the logistics together so his flag football team can make that trip down to San Diego in the fall.
He also has a bus route with the school there that he has early this morning. So he'll after he finishes that, he'll be able to join us to share with us all the great information. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have an opportunity to talk to our very own. His name is Garey Ingram. And, of course, we'll be talking about the great skipper, Bobby Cox. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only in 523.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
Do you want to win a brand new car? Now's your chance. Just head on over to the Sportsvisions website and register to win a brand new Chevy Trax from Sun Chevrolet. Winner announced June 20th at 5 p.m. Must be present to win.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This message is brought to you by the Armed Forces Vacation Club, a free membership travel hub for active duty military and veterans. The club provides a well-deserved escape during challenging times or post-deployments, or for cherished family moments. This exclusive travel club grants access to discounted 7-night resorts and savings on over 600,000 hotels, rental cars, and more. Discover the world for free at afbclub.com.
The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Great Tuesday morning, everybody. Take Me Back Tuesday with Michael Jackson. Hit that one. Look, hit the volume. Hey. Want to get you going here this morning. Richie Rich is on the ones and twos, and we appreciate you, Richie. Hey, listen, Bobby Cox passed away this week, and I tell you what, the Atlanta Braves are in. They're playing with heavy hearts right now. You can say whatever you want, but not only did they lose Bobby Cox, they lost the iconic Ted Turner, the original owner of the Atlanta Braves. But Bobby Cox, he has affected so many different people in the game, and I've just been enjoying hearing from different testimonies about his instructions, his leadership, his mentorship. And I've been hearing it from players, I've been hearing it from broadcasters, I've been hearing it from colleagues. It's been it's really, really been special. But again, the Braves get the opportunity to take the field tonight against the Chicago Cubs at Truist Park, and I'm sure they're going to roll out a memorial or at least a celebration for Bobby Cox as well as Ted Turner. And I tell you what, we're very lucky to have with us a guy who has had an experience with, of course, the great Bobby Cox, and he's our baseball contributor, Garey Ingram. Good morning, Garey. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Rich. Good morning, DJ. How you guys doing? This is a great morning.
Great morning indeed. Great morning indeed. I tell you, man, everybody's that loves the Braves and that love Bobby Cox, or got a heavy heart for him. Again, for all the lives that he's touched, and I know that when I say lives that he's touched, that even includes yourself.
Absolutely, man. I was able to spend 6 years in the Braves organization, and Bobby Cox is as quality of guys they come, especially in the game of baseball. You're probably going to hear tons and tons of stories of the lives he's impacted across his journey while he was here. And when everybody started talking about you after you were gone, you've done something very well during the time that you were here. So I'm just glad to be here just to represent him in some form of fashion.
Yeah, Garey, his impact is beyond the Braves organization. Is one of the best managers in all of baseball. I was there. His final game he managed in that divisional round game against the Giants in 2010. I remember the Giants came out and they applauded him, and it was an emotional time back then. I mean, he impacted that Braves organization. You talk about the managers underneath him, like Freddie Gonzalez, Brian Snicker. Just talk about just the impact that he had with his managers that were able to go off and be managers of other teams and have an impact in the Braves organization even after he retired in 2010.
Well, Rich, I was fortunate enough to be under the tutelage or been on the same field with all three of those guys you mentioned, which were Bobby Cox, Freddie Gonzalez, and Brian Snicker. That doesn't happen that often. And I got a story in Double-A in Mississippi with the Mississippi Braves. We used to play what we call a exhibition game against the major league club, and Bobby Cox was always there. The first thing he did was come over to our clubhouse and shake our hands. It was me, Aaron Holbert. We had Rocket Wheeler there. We had Philip Wellman there, and Bobby Cox, man. For a guy that's been in the game that long, the kindness and the stature that he shows when he gets humility when he gets around you is just infectious, man. And he always speak to you first. That's the one part I remember about him. But the guys that came after him after he retired, such as the Freddie Gonzalez and Snicker, you notice they always have to mention Bobby Cox in their breath, and that just shows a testament of how kind of impact he left, man. And I'm sure there are thousands of stories that people would like to share. And I know it's his fans, his family, and tonight at the Truist Stadium, they're gonna really remember him in a great way.
Absolutely. Garey, a guy like this who obviously, and again, you guys in baseball, I think, came up with this little slogan, cup of coffee. He had a Major League Baseball experience. He played several years with the New York Yankees, got called up, but just a great guy. He, everything, like I said, what really, really stands out to me, and has been being a former professional and being in a locker room and understanding what it takes to have, I know the difference between a winning team and a championship team is that's having a manager, a head coach, leadership of that team that believes and treats each and every player like a grown man. Give you the opportunity, not that every player is going to act like a grown man, but at least, taking the wherewithal to go into that clubhouse and give you the respect that, hey, listen, this is professional sports. You know what? You have a responsibility. I'm not going to have a whole lot of rules for you. As long as you're doing your job, you show up on time, and you give me the effort I need.
You hit the nail on the head. Bobby Cox, all he asks you in spring training is give 100%. He don't come with no luggage. He don't ask you for any drama. He said, if you give me 100%, I'll do everything in my power to back you. And that's what he did. I know, Rich, and I think how many times he got tossed? 100 and something times. I think the most.
162.
That's a major league season right there. 162 games.
And you know what?
So
what's so funny? I don't mean to cut you off, but you know what the thing is that I just want to throw this in there as a little PSA is that I don't know if they were finding him, but if they say that's 162 is the amount of games that you play in the season, just think if they tacked on some fine monies to that, which I'm sure they did.
Of course they did, man. And I'll tell you this, it didn't bother Mr. Bobby Cox at all because at the end of the day, he's always been a player's manager, number one. Number two, he's always represented the Braves organization with class, and he goes to bat for his players. And like I mentioned before in the previous show, when players see that their managers and coaches got their back, they will do anything in their power to win a ball game, okay? Whether it's coming off the bench, whether it's pinch running. And like you said, man, Bobby Cox, he's the guy where he knows when to get tossed. He knows the pulse of his team, and he knows which direction he needs to take his troops. So all the stuff we're talking about, it all came in one envelope, and it was on Bobby Cox's desk, and he opened it every day, man. And, he's going to be truly missed. I'm not going to lie. Even though I was there for 6 years to witness his greatness, but he imparted a lot of stuff in me, too, along the way.
The old saying, I'm with you when you're right and I'm with you when you're wrong. And that's what I hear. And that's what rings in my ear what resonates when I hear how Bobby would go out, and even when he go out and if he's taking up for a player and he wants to get tossed to get his players, motivated, or if he was taking up to show these guys that, hey, look, I'm with you, whether you did something wrong or not. I'm going to jump into that umpire's ass and let him know that, we're a team, we're together. And it's rare at the same time, but it's just different, man. I tell you, it's to play the game and to understand the different styles of coaches and the different and playing for a guy that that loves you, that ultimately cares for you, that has your best interest in mind, a family man, a guy that he's not worried about, he won't embarrass you in public. He's kind of guy that'll say, look, meet me in the dugout. Let's have a conversation instead of chewing you out in front of everybody. You know how that is. And Garey, as a former player, man, that makes a whole lot of difference. And you get a different level of respect from your players when, they can take you, back into the clubhouse or away from the facility and have a conversation as opposed to doing it in front of 10, 15, 20, 40,000 people.
Great point, DJ. You said a key word right there, respect. Bobby Cox only wanted you to respect the game and respect that name across the chest, which was the Atlanta Braves. And there are times where if Bobby Cox need to embarrass you in a situation, he will. And we all will go back to the Andrew Jones situation, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And everybody remember Andrew Jones, he likes to catch that basket catch down there.
Right.
And I think he did something in the game that cost him. Bobby Cox, instead of yelling at the kid and making a spectacle, Remember, he let him run all the way back to center field in between the innings, called timeout, and took him out of the game right before the pitch was called play. So Andrew Jones ran off the field, didn't say a word, and I'm sure people are going to probably ask him about that, during the ceremony and everything. But that was a way of Bobby Cox showing him that, look, if you embarrass the team, then there's going to be times where you're going to get embarrassed. I don't think he didn't mean to do it on purpose, but look, everything is timed by manager. Okay, managers are calculated. They have to make certain decisions that we don't make on a daily basis. I'm sure Bobby Cox had sleepless nights about his lineups, about how you want to do this and things of that nature. But like I said, Bobby Cox, man, I was listening to a Freddie Freeman story, and Freddie Freeman kind of was choking up just doing the interview. So that just tells you the impact that he had, man. And, DJ, we could be talking about this all day, but Bobby Cox is always going to be on the Mount Rushmore in Atlanta with the great Ted Turner, with Hank Aaron, and all the great Braves people.
And you talk about Mount Rushmore. He's a Braves Hall of Famer. He's his number 6 has been retired. He's been Manager of the Year 4 times in 85, 1991, and 2004 and 2005. A 2-time World Series champion in 1977 and in 1995. And a lot of people don't know that he has been with not only the Braves, but of course he cut his teeth with the New York Yankees, and of course he also spent some time with the Toronto Blue Jays.
He's a journeyman. There are a lot of great managers that play for great organizations such as Joe Torres and Bruce Bochy's, and he's what you call a journeyman that has been there, done that. And what better person to get tutelage from a guy that's been in the trenches, from a guy that didn't, get to the top, but at the end of the day, he was able to win all of those division championships for an organization that we all know about, those baby blues back in the day. And there is no way you can mention Atlanta Braves without mentioning Bobby Cox in your breath. And, there's just, you can't replace a Bobby Cox. There's only going to be one. And like they say, whenever you get people like that around in your lifetime, if you have a chance to go see them, go meet them, go get an autograph from him, if you can, I would recommend you do that, because I actually got an autograph memorabilia from him myself, which is one of my stories that I can share with you.
Yeah, his legacy, especially with the 14 straight division championships. Yeah, you could throw out the fact that 94 was the strike season. The Expos were actually leading that division, but it's still 14 straight. But it can't be done really without a front office that made the right moves. Obviously, John Smoltz getting traded by the Detroit Tigers for Doyle Alexander, huge move. Tom Glavine was homegrown. Greg Maddux coming over as a free agent. So you have 3 Hall of Fame pitchers. You have Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, both homegrown through the farm system. But talk about what made Bobby Cox a special manager. I know his legacy was he did win the World Series with the Braves, but they did go to 4 other World Series titles, and there were some of those World Series that he could have ended up having 3 World Series championships. I think they could have won in 91. They definitely should have won in 96. But I think that when his story is complete, I know that a lot of sports writers say, well, he only won the 1 World Series, but it was longevity, it was consistency, and it was complete dominance in the 90s. That's what his legacy has been.
Great question, Rich. You know what? First of all, we'll talk about those 14 division championships. Has anybody ever done that since? No. So that's probably not going to happen. To get to 1 World Series is huge. Okay. And like you said, they'll say, well, he only won 1. He only won. I'm going to say this. A lot of managers have what I call a loaded lineup. Some managers have players that are on the bubble, but if you polish them, they can become great players. I would guarantee you, if you ask all those former players that what was one of the favorite managers you played for, and Bobby Cox is going to be on the top of that list. Okay, yes. Bobby Cox had a way, excuse me, of pulling out things from players that they didn't even know they had. Okay, so you talk about the trades, you talk about Smoltz's, you talk about Marquise Grissom's coming over there, the Fred McGriffs. Man, I'm gonna tell you this right now, people. when you get a guy like Bobby Cox talking to you every day, he's the kind of manager that can pull you to the side and say something to you that'll either kick you in the rear to get you going, or it'll make you a better player. And nobody sees this stuff behind the scenes. So that's the difference between a Bobby Cox. Nothing against other managers that have proven themselves in major leagues, but you always have special managers, and I call them special because for some reason they are always able to get through to their team and to the front office, to anybody that comes in their area. And we can sit here all day, man. I know we ain't got that much time, but Bobby Cox is just a solid figure that has grown people into players, grown people into individuals, and we're gonna miss him, man. I know I'm gonna miss him.
Gary, you say we don't have that much time in talking about Bobby Cox, but we're going to do what we need to do in the time that we have. And I know a lot of stuff is going to be said about, where we're going to put a statue, or should we put a statue up? It's just it's a concern about where, because, Truist has gone against when the Braves were moved out to that Marietta area outside the perimeter. People, there was some backlash. People did not want the Braves to leave Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and didn't want them to leave the city. A lot of backlash, but when they do have the proper honors for not only Bobby Cox but Ted Turner as well, where should they put this? I know that that Georgia State has taken over the facilities now, and that old Fulton County Stadium is now something else. And but there's still some areas and some places in town, I think, that would be, proper. And, the Olympic Centennial Park is one of them. I think that that's a garden for all of the greatness. And again, if I had a vote, where would you vote that if they're going to, because it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of where they're going to put build these statues and put them up in Atlanta.
Great point, DJ. I remember, not getting off subject, I remember they was talking about Hank Aaron's statue, whether or not to leave it where it was or take it over to Cobb County. If you guys remember that. So listen, man, Bobby Cox used to wear spikes in the dugout. So I'm sure that Bobby Cox statue is going to be somewhere over there in that Battery area right there. But I wouldn't be surprised they put it in the dugout, because look, man, hey, those are some shoes that can't be filled. Yeah. They can be replaced, but they're not going to be filled. But I'm with you. I mean, there was a lot of backlash when the Braves left Fulton County, which is where I was able to play against the Braves back when my parents was able to see me play in the major leagues, when they moved over to the Cobb County area. But as we all know, we want to make it clear, it's a lot of this is about dollars and cents for the dollars. Okay. I heard that majority of that fan base is where Truist is. So they decided to make that decision to move it closer to their fan base. But at the end of the day, the Bobby Cox statue, to me, that's going to be a no-brainer. It is going to be somewhere close to that field, because if it was up to Bobby Cox, he would rather them put a ghost image of him on the end of the dugout leaning on that rail, man, like he always does. So that's going to be a question for the city of Atlanta, the organization. I'm sure they're going to have a hand in on where they feel like it should be, because like we said, he's on the Mount Rushmore with the Hank Aaron's and all of them. And that's going to be a tough decision, man, but I don't think they're going to do too much about it. They're probably going to ask the family as well, what do they think, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I just got a text message from Ricky Rogers. He says there's already a Bobby Cox statue outside of Truist Park. I mean, I kind of remember that, but I think we're talking. Yeah, I think we're talking bigger picture. We want to get Atlanta involved. Gary, I do think that the Braves right now, they have the best record in Major League Baseball. Obviously, they're taking on the Cubs later tonight. It's going to be an emotional night at Truist Park, especially with not only the honor for Bobby Cox, but also for Ted Turner. How do you feel the Braves are just going to emotionally get ready for this series, especially with heavy hearts with Bobby Cox and Ted Turner on their mind?
Yeah, I know your friend just texted. They do have a Bobby Cox statue, and you know what? They're probably gonna go out even more than that. It might be another statue somewhere they're gonna put, and they're gonna make this a memorable occasion for everybody. All fans are like, Ted Turner was the brains of the Atlanta Braves back in the day. And you can't mention the Atlanta Braves without mentioning Ted Turner. That's just not going to happen. Okay. Ted Turner was able to find the guy that brought Atlanta to the top, which was Bobby Cox in all those division championships. Of course, we all wish they could have won more World Series, but if you think about it, during the draft and everything, you know who was sitting in that draft room that was probably telling them, hey, we need to get this kid. We need to get this kid, such as an Andrew Jones, such as a Chipper Jones, such as a John Smoltz. It was Bobby Cox helped making those decisions. So it's just going to be exciting. I'm sure the stadium is going to be overflowed with people tonight. I wish I could get down there, but that traffic is crazy and that parking. But I'm going to make sure I watch the ceremonies on TV, because that's one thing I can do is pay my respects to Mr. Cox.
Garey Ingram is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions morning show, and we're of course we're celebrating the life of Bobby Cox. And Garey, I just for the sake, I know you have worked with Brian Snitker as well. How much difference, or how much are they alike, Snitker and as well as Bobby Cox? Were they similar in the way they handled their business, or were they different?
Now, that's a great point. Snicker, we all knew he'd been with the Braves for 50 years. So, and guess who he was under? Bobby Cox a lot. He actually was coaching third base for about 7 or 8 years with Bobby Cox. So I'm sure Snicker had the pulse of Bobby Cox. At some point in time, managers have to create their own identity throughout that journey, being under somebody for so long. But I am sure Snit was able to pull a lot of things that he saw, that he heard, that he was able to participate with Bobby Cox and implement it in his managerial style. So we saw some of the same similarities. I think Bobby Cox had a quicker fuse than Snicker did. Snick didn't get thrown out as much. But at the end of the day, everyone is their own individual. They had their own individual style. And I'm sure that Snick was asked that question 1,000 times. Hey, are you going to manage like Bobby Cox? Hey, are you going to do things like Bobby Cox before he took the job? But look, man, I guarantee you there are some times where Snick probably sat in that office with Bobby and said, hey, man, what can I do better? What can I pay attention to? So and like I said, that just showed you the impact that he had on coaches. We're not even talking about players now. So he made coaches better and was able to go on and get better gigs in the league too. But yeah, man, there's similarities with Snicker and Bobby Cox, but like I said, there's only going to be one Bobby Cox and only one Snicker, and both of them was able to lead the Braves to a World Series.
Garey, I'm glad you mentioned the coaches that were under Bobby Cox, because I pulled up a list of the Bobby Cox coaching tree. We know about Freddie Gonzalez. We know about Brian Sticker. But how about Cito Gaston, who was his hitting coach in Toronto when he won Manager of the Year in '85, helped lead the Toronto Blue Jays to 2 World Series titles, including against Bobby Cox in '92. Ned Yost, longtime bullpen and third base coach, who led the Royals to a World Series title in 2015. And then Jimmy Williams had multiple stints on Bobby Cox's staff and managed the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Astros. And then we're also Terry Pendleton, Eddie Perez, yourself, a huge impact on coaches everywhere in Major League Baseball. That's why this is a tremendous loss.
Absolutely, Rich. Man, when Bobby Cox was under those other guys, such as Cito Gaston, you don't think Bobby Cox had that notepad over there writing stuff down? Oh, absolutely. So it all came together and formed the right way for us to see the great Bobby Cox. I'm sure when Bobby Cox decided to start managing when he finished playing, because that's a hard thing for a player to step into. Sometimes a player would think, am I right? Am I good enough to be a manager? Should I just be a rover? Should I be a hitting coach? But in order to take that step to be a manager, you got to have some guts, okay? You got to have some heart. And we all know Bobby Cox has had the heart for years. And all that tutelage he had, we was able to see it all in a Braves stadium in his Braves uniform. So a big ups to the other guys that Bobby Cox came under, because that's just going to be a situation where it's going to be things that Bobby Cox could have shared with us that he got from them that made him successful.
Well, Garey, we certainly appreciate you joining us this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show. And for the Sports Visions Nation, bringing Bobby Cox, for those who didn't know him, making it more personable because through you, one of our very own, again, a guy who grew up right here in this community and had the experience to, of course, be around Bobby Cox and to be able to share those special stories. Thank you so much, my guy. But before you go, you got to share the Cove information and give us a way to how we can link up and watch your fishing show.
Cove Ultimate Fishing, ladies and gentlemen. This man always put my fishing on blast. I was just on the lake yesterday, and I caught a 15-piece of crappie. I cleaned them, and they down in the freezer. And I'm going to have some crappie eggs, and I'm going to throw some green vegetables on that plate for my guy, DJ Jones.
Please do. Please do. Hey, man, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your morning.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right,
Garey.
Yes, sir. Man, it's nothing like personalizing a situation that's so heavy on everybody's heart with such an iconic figure. But, again, I'm very thankful that we can do that with a guy like Garey Ingram, who spent, 6 years in the midst and in around Bobby Cox, and can give us personal stories.
Absolutely. Those personal stories that touched his life and had an impact around baseball. And that's why we appreciate Garey Ingram every time he comes on the Sports Visions Morning Show. But today is just a day that we are thinking about Bobby Cox. And I know that those tributes continue to pour in, and it's going to be a pretty somber day at Truett's Park as they honor Bobby Cox later tonight.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we'll have an opportunity to talk to the Hall of Famer himself from Central High School, Adrian Lyles. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
A promotion-packed week is coming to Synovus Park. May 12th through the 17th, the Clingstones host the Knoxville Smokies. Wednesday is our first Wet Nose Wednesday for the law offices of Gary Bruce with dog bowls for the first 500 fans. Thursday, the Clingstones take the field as a Refrescos de Fuente with a flag giveaway presented by Riley Heating and Air. Friday night, Military Appreciation Night, honoring those who serve with postgame fireworks courtesy of Pratt & Whitney. Saturday, the first 1,000 fans receive a Drake Baldwin bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola. Plus, kids run the bases from Raising Cane's. Get your tickets now at Clingstones.com.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Do you want to win a brand new car? Now's your chance. Just head on over to the Sportsvisions website and register to win a brand new Chevy Trax from Sun Chevrolet. Winner announced June 20th at 5 p.m. Must be present to win.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you know veterans enrolled in VA healthcare can use over 4,000 urgent care locations across the country to treat non-life-threatening conditions? It's easy and free. Just show your Veteran Health ID card. Get the best care for veterans. Sign up at va.gov or visit your nearest VA medical center.
put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We got out of Washington State, and I think a week after, state went on lockdown for COVID.
So then when we transitioned to Texas, it was very much so like, what are we going to do now?
Operation Homefront has allowed our family to make something of ourselves again in the world after the military.
It's completely changed the way our life is. It took us from a hopeless situation, and now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. I'm the first one to own a home out of my siblings.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
Every day, 12 children die from sepsis, more than from cancer. Most people don't know the word sepsis or the symptoms. Protect yourself and your loved ones. To learn more about the symptoms, go to sepsis.org.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1, covering local and national sports. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Tuesday morning and welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. We're broadcasting live from the PNB studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus, just about a 50-yard dash from the Athletic Tower gates, man. I tell you, it's a beautiful day to be on the radio. And thank you for allowing us to help you get your day started. Special thanks to our good friend Garey Ingram, who has spent some time, 6 years to be exact, with Bobby Cox, and the iconic manager and general manager and former manager of the Atlanta Braves.
What a great interview with Garey. I tell you what, DJ, that's one that's going to go in the archives. And if you want to catch a replay of that interview we just had with Garey, back on the life of Bobby Cox, you can catch us on a replay on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. You can also listen to us commercial free on Apple and Spotify.
Absolutely. Our next guest is the reason why we love being live and local, the only all sports talk show in East Alabama, West Central Georgia. And of course, we have with us the Hall of Famer himself, Adrian Lyles. Good morning. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, good morning. How you all doing? Can you all hear me?
We can hear you absolutely perfect.
It's kind of low on my end. I'm trying to make sure that I done everything right.
Yep. But again, good. Thank you. And I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but I definitely wanted to get you on here because, again, you know, when you get an award like being recognized like you have been on Saturday in the Central Red Devils Hall of Fame, it's amazing because you touch so many lives and you have been behind the scenes so long, over 20 years that you've been touching lives and coaching. I just want to congratulate you here, and I wanted to bring you on and so everybody could see you and get to know you.
Thank you. I thank you a lot. Isn't this a extreme honor to be a part of the program so long and then be able to be a part of so many lives, watch so many kids grow up, and just be here and even be able to coach my kids. Just an honor to come back to the place where I grew up and give back.
Coach Lyles, if you would, I just want you to walk us back down through memory lane because, again, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? Who were some of the coaches that poured into your life, your family members? I mean, just give us what was important to you to get you off and running in the right direction.
So it started up, my mom used to work at a cleaners on Seal Road called Cook's Cleaners. So I went to a small little private school called Mother Mary Mission. So I when she was at work, I had to go to the boys club. So in the summer, I was in the boys club. You know, back when I grew up, you know, kids were still going to the boys club and the girls club and stuff like that. So we had Mr. Bobby Prophet. Got to thank him when I was first started playing football. Didn't know what I was doing. Just out there. Then I met a lot of guys. I was in a private school, but I was hanging with a lot of public kids at the boys club. So that's how I got acclimated to football and baseball. And then when I got to ninth grade, I went to Central. So I went, but I knew all the kids because I had been going to the boys club every year, every summer. And so then I came up here and then Coach Wayne Trey with Coach Bobby Wright, Coach Woodrow Lowe. All those men played significant roles. Coach Tommy Robinson, all those men played roles in my life growing up. watching those men, then seeing the legends from Phoenix City, Eddie Lowe, Woodrow Lowe, Jeremiah Castile, Billy Jackson, Ed King. So many players came out of this school system. And then, so it was a dream for us back then to want to play at Central. Then I was able to get up here, played as a junior, a lot of talented kids. We won a championship. Didn't really understand how big it was. I really understand it now, but back then I really didn't understand how big it was. And we was able to win a championship. Then I had a little more fun. I didn't even really understand what we had done, but I understood the next year when it was time for me to go to school, in my senior year, that, oh man, we did something amazing and we had some great memories, but now it's time to go. So I was able to go to Alabama A&M with the help from Tommy Robinson, Woodrow Lowe. A lot of people helped me out with that situation. I was able to go up there. I ended up walking on. And then I ended up earning a scholarship. And, I got injured, was able to get into coaching. And then I was blessed enough to be able to come back here and get a job here.
What do you call, or what is most important to you as you were able to touch the lives of so many young men? I know your son is an All-American, but you've coached a lot of kids. You got most recently a kid that just got drafted by the Buffalo Bills in the second round, TJ. But what's your mantra when at the end of the day, and again, I'm not going to put you in the ground before your time, but on your tombstone, what's that statement that you would want to say about what you have been able to do?
I want to be remembered as a guy who always told me the truth, who kept it authentic. I know it may sound ugly sometimes, may not be what you want to hear, but I'm always being very truthful. The kids like to use a word called free pick. So I often tell them, I sit down and talk to them a lot about explaining the whys. I want you to make sure you understand the whys and everything you do, all your decision making, and understand there's consequences behind every action that you have. And just want to make sure they understand that I'm always going to tell them the truth, always tell them things to look for in the future. I've seen so many kids fail and succeed. And so I learned from those experiences, and I try to pass those experiences on to those other kids.
Our guest this morning is Adrian Lyles, and we're doing a little shuffling here because obviously we have a little personnel change in here. But we're going to welcome in Coach. I have my producer, Thrift Barringer, one coming in and one leaving out, but I want you to say hello to Thrift Barringer this morning.
Good morning. How you doing? I hope all is well. Big fan of you all. Watch you all. Very happy to get this relationship restored.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
When we talk to people around the community, Adrian, they talk about how selfless you are. And again, I'm going to go through this list of players because a lot of folks might not necessarily. When you talk about some of the lives that you've touched, T.J. Parker, Raheem Nunez, Roches, he also Christian Campbell, Brian Shorter, Markel Benton, and on and on and on. I mean, those are names of not just great players, but great people. And obviously, you had your hands on these guys.
Yes, sir. I worked with all those guys, a lot more kids, and I just learned so much. I grew up raising young men, and I was able enough to figure out, keep God first, teach them to keep God first. It's not just about football, it's about life after football. And once we can understand that, it's just going to be successes, they're going to be failures, but we got to keep, as men, we got to keep showing up every day, attacking the next day, going forward, understanding going to be ups and downs, but how do we respond? And just being able to use some of those kids' experiences to give back to the kids now. And then those kids come back around, they see it full circle. It's just an honor, a blessing, and I'm happy I'm able to use some of those kids and some of those kids' experiences to help kids now.
Coach, how great is it to have your son not only play in the on the team that you coached, but as well, but to see this day, see his dad be recognized and going into the Central Red Devils Hall of Fame?
It was an honor for my family, my boys, to see that I was even thought of, considered. I wasn't nowhere near as good as he was, but for them to be able to watch that accomplishment, it was big for me. It was huge for me. I hope that I want them to understand they can do anything that they put their mind for, set to, and that anything is possible. Just as long as they put their head down and work.
Another guy that's getting into the Hall of Fame with you, Earl Alexander, and he was a fantastic athlete back in the day. And you see his son what he's doing.
Yes, I have seen his son. Extremely great basketball player. I think he's a great football player too, but I think he's leaning more toward basketball. Another hometown great. Would love it. I wish his son was at Central, but but I'm happy he's where he's at. He's happy. He's doing great things. I already got a chance to be Mr. Basketball this year, so very, very proud to see him. And it's in his genetics. I think his dad was a good athlete, granddad, so it was just in their family.
Coach, you've worked with a number of head coaches, and I want to. This is a blanket statement, and because however you answer it, because again, the longevity, being at Central over 20 years, working with a number of head coaches, you have been a mainstay. What has been attributed? What can you give credit to that made you understand and be able to excel with all different coaches, no matter who's at Central?
That's a great question. And I think about that a lot. I think about how have I grown as a coach, starting out under Coach Nelson, then going to Coach Lowe, then going to Coach DeBose, then to Coach Nix. I've learned a lot of things. I've seen how I've seen the program go from an older school program to more of a modern new school program. I've learned that you have to adapt with the kids because the kids are changing. And each coach has done a good job of doing that, and they bring their own things in. And so I learned what I think may work, but I take from this coach and take from that coach and try to put together and put the perfect program together. All of them had great ideas, did great things, had great times here. And I was able to get along with all of them, but I learned so much from some of the coaches that came through here. And it's been invaluable. And I think, it really has you prepared to be a coordinator or a head coach by being under such great minds.
What has been or who have been, and I play for Wallace Davis, and, he's had a number of players as well that have gone on and excelled on the collegiate level into the professional level. But, most coaches like fathers, you got your favorite players. Who are some of the guys that really resonate when that you've touched over these last 20 years?
Last 20 years. No, I think about, when it started out, I think before Coach DeBose came, I think during Coach Lowe's years here, I was getting in my car and taking, 6, 7 kids, camps, trying to get us on the radar. We was behind Carver a little bit, didn't understand how, they were getting a little bit more recruited than we were. So I said, man, let's change that. Let's get our kids out there as well. So, I grew a relationship with a class that I had a bunch of 9th graders playing, and I just had them in my car every weekend at my house all the time. So players like Trey Samuel, I had great relationships with. Christian Campbell, Brian Shorter, Zach Dean, TJ Parker to be modern, Mark Baker, Sterling, and even the kids I got now. It's just like a new chapter in a book every year. And so many kids you get close to and you try to pour into, and there's so many of them, and they all sort of gravitate to you because they sort of, I guess I'm kind of rough around the edges, but I think they sort of like it. So they all sort of come to me. But, I really just try to treat them all the same and make sure that I impact all of them however I have to. I understand that they're all different, and I try to treat them all differently as far as their personalities. I don't coach them all the same. I coach them to what they need, and I talk to them, and I try to make sure I relate to them as far as what they need individually.
These great players that you've coached, your specialty, your coaching philosophy. What are you, an edge rusher coach? Are you a defensive line or a backer coach? What's your specialty?
My specialty is pass rushing. I love rushing the quarterback. I try to do a great job of creating pass rushers that understand the game, that can play the game at a high level. Really take pride on my guys leaving here knowing how to practice, knowing how to watch film, knowing how to lift weights, understanding football at a high IQ level. So I talk to my guys all the time about, if we're playing Madden, I don't play on rookie mode. I want to play on all Madden. And, so we try to understand the game at a high level, which I think is what we've been doing over here, trying to develop these kids at a level so that they go off to school and they're ready to compete and ready to try to earn a spot versus having to learn a red shirt. But I love coaching the edges. I played it. I believe in stopping the run so we can rush the quarterback. I get up on teams like the old Peyton Manning days. I was a great fan of Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney. Yes. And they really just got up on everybody 2-3 scores and then just rushed the quarterback the rest of the night. I'm sort of a pass rush guy. I think sacks equal scholarships, so that's what I'm about.
Coach, when did you know you had that passion in you to make a difference in the next future generations of Central athletes?
That's a great question. And when I was at A&M, I played linebacker for a year. Then they moved me to like an edge outside backer. I got hurt, and a young man named Robert Mathis was by my backup. And he got on the field, and I never got off. He never got back off the field, so I was rotating with him, and I saw how he played the game. I was GAN. I grad assistant coached up there one year, and we had everything he did was like a game. Like we would be walked through. He was at game speed, and he was so productive. And from that moment on, I came back here. Then I tried to play football again, and I was like, man, you know what? Then I played. I actually got pretty good, and I understood the game at a higher level. But my time was over with. So I said, you know what? I can give this back to these kids, and it started to work. You know, like you brought Nunez up. We had some guys that could really play, and then, it's really evolved. And then, the game is changing now. So a lot of spread teams, all they do is throw the ball, run and gun. So you got a lot of more opportunities to pass rush. And it's just been a passion for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Coach Adrian Lyles. Coach, you are now a Hall of Famer, man, and congratulations, and thank you for hanging out with us on the Sports Visions Morning Show.
And thanks. Anytime. I appreciate you all. Look forward to getting with you all. Anything you all have, man, we're 100% locked in with. Just please let us know, and we're all on board. And I thank y'all again.
All right. Take care, my friend.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you all.
All right. Man, I tell you what, you talk about selfless. I mean, this guy has touched the lives. I mean, again, he stayed in the back. He stayed in the background, but now, of course, he steps to the front to, of course, take his rightful place in the Central Red Devils Hall of Fame.
Yeah, congratulations to him and all the nominees out there. And what a fantastic career for Coach Lyles.
All right, don't go anywhere. Coming up next, the sports director over at WRBL TV3, Jack Patterson. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's do this. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. The Supreme Court is letting the state of Alabama get rid of one of its large black congressional districts and use a map that has one majority black district. The decision was made after the court struck down a majority black U.S. House district in Louisiana as an illegal racial gerrymander. Staying in Alabama, a Chambers County jury convicted Jasper Barry in the 2018 stabbing of two girls in Valley. Prosecutors say he forced his way into the girls' home on Jennings Street and stabbed them. The girls survived, but Barry was found guilty as charged on counts including attempted murder and first-degree burglary. In Columbus, 3 men are on trial for killing 16-year-old Darius Bryan in 2024. Bryan's father said the murder was not a gang war type incident and that life without parole for the 3 men is the only answer that could make the loss feel easier. The trial is expected to last for 2 weeks. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Tuesday morning. We are off to an overcast and a humid start with rain showers down south across the area. You fall into Americus. Temperatures are going to be mild with readings in the 60s, and the clouds will be slow to break today as that low pressure system skirts the Gulf Coast. Early morning rain exits while remaining cloudy tonight. Temperatures near 60, and we're tracking a weak dry front arriving on Wednesday with more sun in the forecast for the remainder of the week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
Sons Chevrolet is moving to our brand new home on Woodley Boulevard, and we're celebrating with a grand opening giveaway you don't want to miss. Register now for a chance to win a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Trax, plus oil changes for life. Register online before June 20th. Join us for the ribbon cutting on June 18th and the grand opening event leading up to the big drawing on June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern. No purchase necessary. Visit sonschevy.com to enter and get all the details today. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I'm in my late 60s. My husband died a few years ago. He did all of our taxes. I sold a piece of property last year, and I forgot to claim the proceeds of the sale. Next thing I know, I got a letter from the IRS telling me that I owe over $50,000. Now I have a huge tax problem. I don't have that kind of money. I wish I knew who to call.
If you sold property in the last calendar year or didn't claim all of your part-time or even retirement income, you could be in big trouble with the IRS. Call first before they send you a letter. If you've already got a letter, call. We'll help you file years of past tax returns and save you time and money. So call the tax doctor. The call is confidential and free.
800-241-0136. 800-241-0136. 800-241-0136. That's 800-241-0136.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you take medication? At VA, prescriptions have a range of copay levels, from free to $5, $8, or $11 for a 30-day prescription, depending on your eligibility. Refill by mail, in person, or on VA's mobile app. Sign up at va.gov or call 1-800-MyVA-411.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Working safely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show, and I know that we normally bring this guy on with a special music.
Hey, can I get it? DJ, I got home late last night. My brain went on. It's raining.
I got you.
Let me do this right, and then I was trying to play a joke on him too. So hold on 1 second.
All right.
Now, DJ, you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. He's 265 pounds. Jack Patterson.
Hey guys, it's not just the return of the Jack, it's the return of the princess too.
Hey, sugar. Man, I saw a beautiful picture that y'all posted. You and your wife posted on social media, man, on Facebook, I believe it was, and she is absolutely gorgeous. That little girl is that little princess, man. She is beautiful.
Listen, she is the biggest blessing of my life. Okay, like love. I didn't really know love could feel this way until she came around.
Yeah, I know you're saying a mouthful, but I only know it's just a matter of time before you'll have a microphone in her hand and having her doing sports reports for you.
No doubt.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, man, listen.
She can do whatever she want to do, okay?
Yes, sir.
If she want to do sports, I'll definitely help her on that, but if she want to do anything else, I'll be right there for her.
I see a calmness in your face, man. So again, I know what that little sweet princess means to you, man. Because again, you're always a jovial, very happy guy, but I mean, you're just an extra glow, man. An extra layer comes from somewhere when that baby's around you.
Absolutely. Let me turn the camera. I'm crooked, but yeah, absolutely. She is. It's hard to, when you see her smile, man. It's just, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world.
Right.
It just puts a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, she's such a happy baby. So, she's smiling all the time. So even when you're not having the best of days, you can look down at her and she's just a smiling away, just like right now.
Absolutely.
And she knows I'm talking about her. That's why.
Exactly.
So
let her see her dad at work here for the next couple of minutes. We ain't gonna keep you long.
Let's go to work, fellas.
Let's do it. Let's talk about. Hey, look. First of all, I know that you have, you spent a lot of time around Adrian Lyles, and he was just our guest on being inducted into the newest class of the Central Red Devils Sports Hall of Fame, and his son, of course, as well. But let's talk about this baseball rival playoff game is coming up. Cavalry versus Brookstone. The showdown is here.
Well, first things first, shout out to Coach Lyles, a well-deserved induction to the Central Hall of Fame. Well, the man has done so much, not only in his own playing career, but then giving back to the next generation. A big shout out to Coach Lyles. And then, talking about this showdown between Calvary and Brookstone, one of the biggest rivalries in the city of Columbus, man. And I think it's going to live up to the hype because when you just add on the playoffs, it just makes it that much better. Okay. And I can't wait to see this rivalry matchup. Okay. Because you're talking about the defending state champions in Brookstone going up against a man who's been there and done that, and Steve Smith and the Calvary Knights. So, it's no pushover by any stretch of the imagination. So I can't wait to see this matchup. And I really am anticipating to see, because I really do think whoever comes out of it has a great chance of winning a state championship.
I 100% agree, Jack. And not only is that one rivalry, and those games will be Thursday at 2 o'clock. I just got confirmation from Coach Mathis. Friday at 12, and then Saturday at 2. They're doing this because of both schools having graduation festivities. I know that's going on all weekend long. Mm-hmm. But how about this other rivalry, Jack? Lee Scott Glenwood for a right to go to a state championship on Wednesday, doubleheader, and then they play the if necessary on Thursday. How about that matchup? These schools, it doesn't matter what I'm telling the association, they're going to find a way for a state championship playing each other.
Tim Fanning Field is going to be fun to be at on Wednesday, okay? Woo! Like these two schools, it just feels like they're just destined to face off, especially in baseball. It feels like baseball has been the sport where you see these two teams match up in the playoffs. And once again, that's going to be an electric atmosphere. And it gets no bigger because, the way that the Alabama playoff system is set up, they're not going to play each other in the state championship. So this might as well be the state championship when it comes to these two rivals, okay? But these two teams have been playing fantastic all year long. They've been playing fantastic in these playoffs. And, I just like Calvary Brookstone, I feel like the winner of this series has a great chance to win the state championship. And I think it's just going to be a fun series to watch. And it's two really talented teams. And like I said, man, when you have rivalries this late in the season with so much on the line, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, she wants to say something.
Agrees.
I tell you what, Jack, you know what? Well, as I sit here and think about it and I hear you, baby, I know that this clip is going to mean more to you because, again, you don't get to take her on television. But, this hit right here, it's got to be special because it's going to be around for a long time. And this is going to be in your archives, I'm sure, because as you were able to eloquently describe and talk about what she means to you when we first came on, This is one for the ages, man. This is going to be one for the archives.
Absolutely. And see, yeah, that's right. It does mean a lot when you get to be on radio with me, okay? It means a lot because it's just, I'm growing with you guys. That's the beautiful thing about, having a career, this kind of a career because, people get to see you grow up. Some people been riding with me all the way days to the back of, when I was doing the Prep Zone preview on the website, may have been 15, 20 people watching, but they saw a 21-year-old Jack doing a Prep Zone preview in the control room at WRBL. And now here I am, 34 years old, the sports director, and got a newborn baby here. So, life's funny that way. But, that's just, it's just one of those things that comes with, being in front of the camera. But, as you guys already know, I'm unapologetically myself, okay? And, I'm going to do Jack, okay? That's how I've always been. That's how I always will be.
I know the T-Red has pretty much the weekend, but I know with obviously everything going on at South Commons, we know you got the Clingstones back in town, and they got Knoxville. They're hosting the Smokies. And then, of course, on Sunday, this humongous gospel show that's going to be the halftime feature of the undefeated Columbus Lions, man. You got to be excited.
Absolutely, man. It's a big weekend for sports here in town. And, the Clingstones, they got a big test coming up with the Smokies coming into town. But I think it's a test that they've been prepared for. The games they've played have kind of prepared them for the games they've played, have gotten them ready for this. And it's a big one for the division because they're right up there in the division race. It's neck and neck with Montgomery. So, you want to be able to, because you got to remember, it's a 2-half season. So these games early in the season actually do matter a lot because, listen, it doesn't seem like the season's been going on that long, but the first half of the season ends in about 6 weeks. Okay. So like before we know, we're going to talking about who's going to win the first half and get that spot in the playoffs. So, these games do matter. And then, as far as the Lions, the Lions just keep doing what the Lions do, and that's crank out win after win after win. And Roger Beck keeps doing what Roger Beck's going to do, and that's going to make sure the fans are entertained at halftime, okay? And make sure they have a good game experience, as do the Clingstones too. So, like I said, man, it's a great sports weekend. You add that plus all the great high school games coming up. Like I said, all of it is just shaping up for a really fantastic weekend.
Columbus United also getting started on Saturday as well. So we got United, we have the Clingstones all week, and we got the Lions on Sunday. So
something for everybody.
Get out of the house, stop complaining.
And the weather's supposed to be great.
Yeah, and stop talking bad about this city. There's events going on all day Saturday. No excuse why you don't get out of the house, Jack. So I know we're all excited about that. The Lions, you made mention of them winning. How about their start? Undefeated in conference play, and they got a big one this upcoming Sunday against Peach State. They're just rolling right now, Jack.
Yeah, and once again, that's a testament to Coach the Nighthawk, Damian Daniels. He's got this team ready, okay? And, there was a chance that when you go into a new league and all this change happening with the squad, that you can fall back, okay? But honestly, they haven't missed a step, okay? The only close game they had was against Wheeling, and we have all said that Wheeling was going to be the toughest game. And they came out on top in that game, okay? And they're just handling business right now. And, like I said, I think this championship is theirs to lose. Oh, what's wrong?
Jack, we got to get you out of here, buddy. We had you way too long. And again, it's just a privilege and a pleasure to have you with your baby girl. Hey, listen, before you get out of here, though, you got to let everybody know when they can catch you when they can watch you on television and when they can go, how they can get you on social media.
So the socials are right there at JPassion TV at WRBL Sports. And watch us on TV, WRBL News 3, CBS affiliate here in the Chattahoochee Valley. We got you covered with all things sports right here on News 3.
Have a great rest of your morning, you two.
Thanks, Jack.
Yes,
all right.
Catch y'all on Thursday.
All right. Take care. That's JP with his baby girl.
Unbelievable, man. Doing daddy duties on live air. Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with more on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. We'll be right back after this.
Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not his art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Have you filed for disability benefits but were denied by the Social Security Administration? Or do you need to apply and are overwhelmed with paperwork? Are you between the ages of 50 and 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury? Thousands of hardworking Americans are in your situation. They file for disability benefits and are unnecessarily denied their much-needed benefit check. Call now for a no-obligation, free evaluation. We can help you nearly double your chances of approval and get your benefit checks faster. We understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact. We'll share our insider expertise and help you get your disability claim filed and paid immediately. There is a time limit to apply, so call right now. Operators are standing by to help you.
800-714-7917. 800-714-7917. 800-714-7917. That's 800-714-7917.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Attorney advertiser, Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia, 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
You know there's people out here getting into accidents and not calling nobody. I had a friend that got into an accident. I asked him, was he hurt? He told me he in pain. He told me everybody in pain. My mom was in the car. My wife was in the car. I said, you ain't go to the hospital? I said, get up now, go to the hospital, and call Top Dog Law. Tell me how it happened, exactly what happened. Told me he was on the expressway driving. A car came behind him, tried to go around him, sideswiped him, hit him into another car. Then the car kept going. Cops had to get him. They caught him down the line, but they caught him. And you ain't think about calling Top Dog Law? Call now. Accidents are real. They happen. Get into an accident and make the call. Top Dog Law.
Garey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
Did you know that Garey's Furniture Express sells rugs? They do, and they have all colors and sizes for every room in your home. You can get a 5x8, an 8x10, and even room size 12x15, and they've got hundreds to choose from. And that's only at Garey's Furniture. You're gonna love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I left the pizza box on top of my car before driving home. Not smart. Oh, and a semi just turned my deep dish into a thin crust.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions morning show. It's a Take Me Back Tuesday. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Big shout out to Richard Holdridge. Richie Richards had to go off to do daddy duties. And, of course, Richie, we appreciate what you do for Georgia Alabama Sports Live as well as Sports Visions, man. Thank you so much. Hey, man, also a big shout out to Adrian Lyles, man, going into the Central Red Devils Sports Hall of Fame. I tell you what, it couldn't happen to a greater guy. Such a selfless young man. And I say young man, he's got over 20 years of coaching at Central, man. And he's coached with some of the greats. But proudly taking his rightful place in the Hall of Fame. And, again, he's going in there with some great ones. And, of course, he has definitely touched the lives of some future Hall of Famers that's to be. And I know he's really, really proud of that.
I know, and he should be. And his son's fantastic athlete. And what he's done for this community and what he's done for many athletes is commendable. Proud of him. What
a wonderful opportunity for us to talk to one of our baseball insiders, one of our personal contributors, talking about the life and the legacy of Bobby Cox. Thrift, I know that we hadn't actually had a chance to talk to you since we got news that he passed on a couple of days ago. But Bobby Cox, one of the greatest managers, not just in Brave history, but in baseball, Major League Baseball history.
No doubt about it. That's my childhood. He was a legend. Just watching the Braves growing up, being a massive Braves fan, and seeing Bobby potentially get ejected was always a delight for a young guy and young kid. I know I enjoyed it. And you could get Bobby fired up. There's a reason why he leads all-time ejections in the history of Major League Baseball. But he's a player's coach, and people respect him, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest.
Hadn't had a chance to talk to you. Of course, Mother's Day was on Sunday, but how was Mother's Day for you and your mom?
Fantastic. Got to see Mom, got to celebrate Natalie some. So it was a really good Sunday. Got to grill out, got to be around the family. So glad I got to celebrate with both of them, and it was a really good weekend. Weather was really good for Sunday as well.
Now I'm getting a call, and everybody wants to know what the hell is the Bipsies?
Yeah, so the Bipsies last night I was in Macon, Georgia, Bibb County. They have 6 schools in their county.
Is it like Columbus?
It's like Columbus. They have 6 schools. You know, there's 8 here, 6 there, and they're in different classifications. And they have an award ceremony they've done for the last 4 years called the Bipsies, like the ESPYs, but they call them the Bipsies. And what they do is they have a tennis player of the year, basketball player of the year, flag football, every sport you can think they have a player of the year, and they get a nominee from each one of the schools. They all come up on stage, get their certificate, and then they announce who the actual player of the year for that sport is for the whole district. And they did that for actual female athlete of the year, coach of the year. There's like 30 awards they gave. And it was a packed house, man. Everybody and their mom was at the thing at Howard High School. So glad that I got to be a part of that for the first time. It was a lot of fun.
What was on the menu?
They did not feed any of them. There was no food.
What?
No, I'm not used to that either. I'm used to every award ceremony I've done and been a part of this year. There's always been food.
Surprised a riot didn't break out. They didn't feed these folks for a couple of hours they were there?
No food. What they did do is have everybody dress up. And I'm telling you, every kid was suited and booted. They had the red carpet. We were able to interview some of the ADs and stuff, but no food. So your boys were starving. The whole crew was.
You mean to tell me they didn't even have a food truck out front?
Nothing. 3:00 in the afternoon, we were there setting up.
Wow.
Started at 5, red carpet. 6 is when it went down. So we were rocking and rolling for about 5-6 hours. So afterwards, when we went to Taco back, we were grubbing for sure, DJ.
I saw a picture of you were rocking your Air Jordans, huh?
It was a sneaker ball, too. It was an all-black affair. They call it a Night of Champions. Each school gets to pick the theme when they're hosting it. It was hosted at Howard this year. Night of Champions in all-black attire. So you're supposed to wear all black with some nice shoes, and I had the shoes I wanted to wear. I'll tell you this, though. J's and my feet don't go together. So if I know I'm going to be on for a long period of time, this is why I can't do it, DJ. I like wearing my Hokas and stuff because when I wear my J's and I got to be standing for 4 hours, by the end of the day, my feet were killing me. I had blisters. I'm like, yeah, this is.
Dude, you got to get you some inner soles.
This is not comfortable with my flat feet, DJ.
Absolutely. Hey, moving on, NBA playoffs, of course, congratulations to the OKC Thunder. They were able to eliminate the Los Angeles Lakers last night and sweep them about 115 to 110 score. And, of course, a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with LeBron James. Was that his last ball game? I don't think so.
No. He'll be playing somewhere next year. I don't know if he'll be playing for the Lakers, though.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that Steve Kerr just signed a 2-year deal, and that 2-year deal was because they think Steph's got at least 2 more year window to win a championship with Draymond, and they may get LeBron, they may get KD, they may get both over at Golden State, and it may be the old heads all trying to go against the young guys of the Spurs and Thunder for a championship. But Thunder move on. Spurs in trouble, though, against Minnesota. So we'll see what happens with there.
Absolutely. And, of course, Cleveland, even the series out knocking off Detroit 112-103. Donovan Mitchell, 43 points, man. I tell you what, and James Harden, he still looks like he's got it.
I think Cleveland takes care of business against Detroit. I do think it may go 7, but the best player in the series right now is Donovan Mitchell. He had 39 of his 43 points in the second half. It's the most points any player's ever scored in a playoff game in one half. He was just on fire. They ended up winning by 20. I think Cleveland moves on. They got more experience, obviously, and we're going to get a Cleveland and New York. Either way, I don't think anybody takes care. New York's been blowing out everyone. They've been on a tear. They have won 2-1 against the Hawks. They've won 7 straight playoff games, and the majority of them by 20 or 30 points. Some of them even 40 or 50, 70 Hawks. So I think the Knicks are going to make it to the NBA Finals.
Well, the NBA draft
lottery
was the other day, and of course the combine is actually going on right now, man. I know that. Congratulations to the Washington Wizards. I mean, they not only hit the I think they hit a home run when they picked up Trae Young, which, one man's trash is another man's treasure. The Atlanta Hawks got Trae Young out of here. And, of course, Anthony Davis is on the roster. Now they get not only that, but the top pick in the lottery.
Yes, they do, DJ. And the Wizards, they get A.J. Diabate, or they go get Darren Peterson, whoever they get with Young, with AD, with SARS. They already got young talent in SARS and some other key pieces. You're right. I do think this Wizards team can be a team very formidable. When you add the experience and the hunger of Trae Young and Anthony Davis still having something to prove, with the obvious young energy of SARS and whoever they pick in number one pick, I think that's a recipe for maybe a team that could get in the playoffs next year and be like the Hawks this year and come out of nowhere and win 46, 47 games.
Yes, indeed. Hey, listen, I know that, we're talking, NBA and we're talking top picks in the draft, but I tell you, man, I saw something that Wembanyama had, an event or a circumstance on the court where he was, he's got tired of being physically pushed around. And, this guy is phenomenal. He is one of very few people that we've ever seen doing what he's done. But he's got to earn his keep. He's got to, he can't be the nice guy. He's got to show that he can protect himself, and he did. Now, I'm not an advocate of him, throwing those, because he can really, really hurt somebody. But you know what? They're not taking it easy on him down in the paint. But he actually got kicked out of a game the other night, and he threw a bowl that we haven't seen him. We've seen a side of him. We haven't seen this side of him before. But you know what? If that's what he's capable of, hey, man, look out. This guy is something serious.
Yeah, he is, man. And I tell you what, DJ, that makes me happy. It makes me think this guy's got a lot of potential. When you got that dog in you, that's something that, again, you were born with. And they hack him. Unfortunately for him, he's still got to get some of that strength. I think it's affected him a little bit more than it did Shaq when they were just completely – when Shaq was as dominant as he was. And Wembanyama's getting to that point because he can shoot threes. But you're right, he's got to protect himself. His teammates got to protect him too. So if that means they need to go get a Charles Oakley or an Isaiah Stewart, who's basically the Charles Oakley of the NBA, now he plays for the Pistons, just someone to go in and foul the crap out of anyone else that touches Wembanyama, set hard screens. They don't have that. The Spurs have a bunch of young, really talented players. But who's the guy that's going to be defending them? And I think that's what's going to be a priority next year. They're going to need that enforcer to protect their Wembanyama. All
right, let's go ahead and take another break, and we'll come back with more on the Sportsvisions morning show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions morning show.
Let me see you move. Love never felt so good.
It's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Let me bring up something that everyone always asks. Do you buy vehicles? Yes, we buy vehicles at Bratton Automotive. And also, I give top dollar. Bring your vehicle to me. It will take 10 minutes, and I will give you a written appraisal. At Bratton Automotive, everybody's going to leave with a smile.
It's Faith and Family Day at the Columbus Lions' next home game, Sunday, May 17th, as the Lions take on the Peach State Cats. Kickoff is at 4 p.m., so bring your family, your friends, and your church group for a special day. The official halftime show artist is Leandria Johnson, bringing her power, soul, and ministry to the field. Plus, at the end of the third quarter, one lucky person will get a chance to kick a field goal to win $8,000. Register for your chance to kick at the merchandise booth at the Civic Center. It's Faith and Family Day at the Columbus Civic Center for the Columbus Lions, Sunday, May 17th.
Watula Methodist Church is having their 50th annual barbecue on Saturday, May 16th from 10:30 to 2. Enjoy a plate of chicken or pork for just $11. Plus, enjoy homemade baked items for sale and live music. Watula Methodist Church, 1370 Lee Road 38 in Opelika.
Here's the tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1, the only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
I said you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, stacks on.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. We're broadcasting from the PMB studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus. Thrift, I tell you what, man, big shout out goes out to Steve, of course, Smith out at Calvary, as well as Greg Mathis with Brookstone Cougars, man. We're going to have one hell of a baseball shindig, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they're going at it. What round is this of the playoffs?
This is for the GIAA quarterfinals. Winner play the semifinals next week. Calvary, massive win yesterday against Bullock, able to win that 4-2. And if you like fireworks, if you like high atmosphere, intense,
I do.
You're a competitive guy. You get your blood flowing.
I am.
Then you need to be at Calvary. At Brookstone this week. Thursday, 2:00. Friday, 12:00. Saturday, 2:00. Best of 3. Let's do it. And I'm telling you, during the regular season, DJ.
Yeah.
Here's the score to the games: 4-2. 4-2. Brookstone win at home. Then they went to Calvary. Calvary won 3-2 and then, by the way, bases were loaded or runs on second and third, and Calvary got a massive strikeout to end the game, win by 1. And then guess what? Game 3, Brookstone won 3-2. All went down to the wire. I'm expecting the same thing because Calvary is starting to play their best ball. Brookstone ending the season on a high note. This is going to be a lot of fun, man.
Excellent interviews yesterday and very cordial between, or at least we had them on separately, Greg Mathis and Steve Smith. But I tell you what, man, all bets are off today. I mean, again, if they're able to pull it off now, again, you said it was raining like cats and dogs a little bit earlier, but this game it's not today, is it?
No, it's on Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday it looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful weather for the rest of this week, DJ.
Good. You know what? In talking to Steve, he was talking about, the wonderful, donations that were made to include seats. They got a student section there. Then they got another set of queens. He said they might be going up on the hill and put the next move that they make might be putting some seats in the hill. The way that baseball field is up on the, you got the natural hill behind them, like it's down in the valley. It's almost like a natural stadium, the way that it's orchestrated.
Yeah, it is, man. It's absolutely fantastic. I love the stadium seats that they added, and he said it's going to continue getting bigger and better. But I remember a couple of years ago, there wasn't many bleachers at all. And now there's a ton of them. And I think he said close to 400 seats. And then you're not even talking about the hill and everything else that people sit around. That was fantastic. And Brookstone, if you've never been to there, they are kind of like in a valley where the baseball is. So you're on top of the hill. You got to walk down to the field. So they have bleachers down close to where field level's at. But then a lot of people sit up on top of the hill. There's plenty of room and space. And I just asked one time, and I'm going to put this out there. I don't mind the trash talking between the players. I think that's awesome. I think it's fun. And if it gets out of control, guess what? There's an umpire for that, and there's coaches to handle that. Parents, let's stay in our lane and cheer for our team, and that's all that matters. If we do that and the players talk trash or there may be a fight on the field, what doesn't matter. It should never carry on to the outside, because I want this to be about how great these two teams are, how awesome both those coaches are, and it should be one of the best baseball series, because this year, the best baseball series I saw all season long, Brookstone Calvary. I expect nothing less here in the playoffs.
Did you tell them who would handle the parents if they got out of order?
No.
The cops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. DJ, there's going to definitely be security. And here's the beauty of it. If you get ejected or if it's too tough for you and you're just like, I can't be around that, it's fine. Watch it from your home on Georgia Alabama Sports Live and just kick up, relax, and don't get yourself worked up. There's no need for that, because it is going to be a fantastic series.
Do you think that the fact that they moved these times up earlier in the day, that might keep a lot of those folks away? They might have to work, or do you think they're going to take off?
Knowing baseball parents, They're going to take off and be there. I still think it's going to be packed. Then you got to think about the students. Half of the students are almost out of school anyway. This is like, there's not a lot happening right now for most of these schools. Right, graduation, everything else. So I fully expect to be major student sections, a lot of chirping going on. But I'm an athlete. I love that. And I was telling a guy from Macon, because he was so amped up about the Bixby's, DJ, and he said his anxiety, and he's like, it was game time. He felt like he's about to go play a game, and I'm like, I love that feeling too. And I get that when I go watch Brookstone and Calvary. Let's not take away from what these kids are doing by just some nonsense outside of the field. So cannot wait. 2 o'clock Thursday, 12 o'clock Friday, 2 o'clock Saturday, all from Brookstone.
We got a couple of minutes before we go to the top of the hour break, but I got some, we had Coach Mathis on the other day, and it often comes up about why does not Brookstone have lights at their field? And you know what? We do. We did get an answer from according to the head baseball coach, the head ball coach over at the Brookstone Cougars. He said he had heard and that because of whoever donated the field for them to build the stadium, that was a part of the clauses, I guess, because the people in that neighborhood. Or I'm going to say the neighborhood. I'm putting words in his mouth. He's basically said that was part of the stipulations, according to what he heard, that lights will not be an option to put on the field. And again, when as you're thinking about it, if somebody gave them that land, donated that land to them, and if in fact they were in that neighborhood, obviously, seeing down the road, and I don't know how long ago that baseball field was donated, but lights, extra traffic in the area, it's a well-to-do area. Yeah, that's believable.
Hey, I do believe that. And I do believe where it's located, how some people living around it doesn't want their privacy or lights shining in their house. But I feel like majority of our high schools, DJ, are neighborhood high schools. Think about Columbus High. It's literally right slab in the middle of all those houses. And I just feel like now at this point, hopefully they can reconvene maybe one day and add lights. I think it would add, because it makes it sometimes tough to schedule games. What if it rains one day earlier in the day? You're limiting yourself how many hours you have to get that field ready, not let it dry when you could be playing at 6 o'clock at night and say you're having to play at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because of the lights.
Thrift, I hear you. I understand. But you got to know that when you're dealing with the tax bracket of that particular level, you know what? If somebody's going to give you something, and of course they gave them a nice plot of land,
they say,
"Hey,
no.
Listen, when you're driving down in there when you come off of Bradley Park or whatever the name of that street is, and you look to your left as you're going down in there, there's a whole neighborhood of really nice homes.
There's a pool right there.
It's right there. I mean, so and then again, you can only imagine if these people. They don't want the ruckus and hey man, hey listen, I get it now, but at least we have an answer somewhat of that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I tell you,
we didn't know before. Is everybody go, oh man, these guys got enough money, they can.
Why don't they have lights? But
now we got something that we can at least hang our hat on.
And it's funny, DJ. I've probably drove down in Brookstone 5 million times the last couple of years, but I really noticed when I pulled in the other day to the left, I'm like, there were no trees, and I'm like, dang. There's a pool. We would see everything that's happened in their backyard. Right. That's how close. And to the entrance, you see several houses.
Yeah.
So I get it. I do. But it should be beautiful weather this week, and I'm looking forward to being there. And if you can't get off work, the beauty of it is we're broadcasting the game, so you can watch from your phone or wherever we're at.
All right. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to hear from the premier sports information director of all counties. Of course, this guy was with all associations. He's with the Georgia High School Association. His name is Marvin James. He's a good friend of Thrift's, and he just so happens to be a good friend of mine. You're going to get the opportunity to get to know Marvin James and all that he loves to do and all that he loves to serve. Coming up in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Probably put me in the past. I can still get you, and I can still make you laugh. You should call in to work if that ain't too much to ask. I could pour you up a drink, or we could burn something. Come through, come through, come through, come through. Girl, you know we got things to do.
Let me bring up something that everyone always asks. Do you buy vehicles? Yes, we buy vehicles at Bratton Automotive. And also, I give top dollar. Bring your vehicle to me. It will take 10 minutes, and I will give you a written appraisal. At Bratton Automotive, everybody's going to leave with a smile.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-976-5907 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-976-5907. That's 800-976-5907. What do you have to lose? Call 800-976-5907. Again, 800-976-5907.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Covering local and national sports. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
I thank Marvin James. He's walking every saying, what you want, what you need, baby. Sugar Daddy here now.
You don't know how much of a jazz guy Marvin is, man.
I see he's a classy
He's
guy.
cool. He's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the Sports Visions Morning Show, Marvin James. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How y'all doing, man?
Really good. Now, so, who's right?
I'm a jack of all trades, man. I can do it all, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I do know that you are an Omega man, a cute dog.
Right.
So you got a little funk in you. Hey, man, thanks for joining us, man. And you probably wonder, like, what the heck DJ want with me this time of year? Well, Marvin, it's no off time for you, regardless of whether you're in championship mode or whatever, because, again, you know, your story, you know, your position, your understanding is always welcomed here on the Sports Visions Morning Show. And I just like sharing your thoughts, sharing your powerful messages, and sharing your energy with with the Sports Visions Nation.
I appreciate it, man. I love being a part of the show, man. It's been great for me. It's early in the morning sometimes for me on my commute and driving to work. I don't mind it coming in and talking to you guys and talking to all your viewers. And like I said, I'm a big fan of the show, and a fan of you too. So this always makes it great.
Marvin, first of all, before we get into the heavy lifting, a 25-year veteran of broadcast TV journalism covering, news, sports, with, just a couple of different stations in and around the state. Talk to me about the transition of that life versus what your life is like today.
Yeah, it's been totally different. I mean, I'm definitely a guy that was working deep in the trenches at WMAZ in Macon, Georgia, considered a smaller station. And so we got our hands dirty. We did everything. It wasn't like, necessarily that you would have a photographer, an editor, makeup person, all that stuff that you see on TV. It wasn't really glamorous like that. We were in the trenches. We found our own stories. We went out, we carried our own, and we chased stories. And one of the things with me, I had the pleasure of, transitioning from the news segment to sports. And we were all over the place. I mean, I traveled all over Central Georgia. It was about 26 to 30 different counties. And I was very familiar with those areas. And then, of course, we crossed paths with the folks all down there, your folks and Jack, Pat, and Tony, and all those guys down there in Columbus. And, we go from there to Augusta to Albany to, Atlanta and, in Savannah. And it was just great. And then now going from there to this office here in Thomaston, things are just a little different. It's a little slower. You're behind the scenes. Before I came on, I was up here inputting scores from tennis playoffs and soccer playoffs, and we're having baseball that starts later on this week. So it's a little different. It's a more sitting at the desk here versus being active in the field. We're only active really during the championship part of the year, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, the biggest thing for me was I wanted to transition to something that was going to still keep me involved with sports and helping the student athletes of this great state. And I'm doing that. So I'm pretty happy.
Marvin, I see it says we know about the media director job, but it says tennis director. For one, Are you Jack Patterson? Did you use tennis back in the day? And did y'all battle each other? And number two, what does that mean, being the tennis director? And when is tennis state championships and all that happening?
No, I'm a little older than Jack, but no, I wasn't quite fleet of foot to be out there on the green, on the grass, on the hardwood right there. I actually play. Football was my thing. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, when I got here, I inherited Steve Figueroa's job as far as the media guy, but he was also the tennis guy. So they gave me the tennis reins, and I enjoy it. I'm learning a lot. I'm very active with my tennis crew. We are just beginning playoffs this week. We just had our playoff bracket reveal this past weekend. Our state championships are May 13th in beautiful Rome, the Rome Tennis Center. And so we're looking forward to culminating a great season in May. And right now it's just very passionate. I'm telling you, these tennis coaches, don't underestimate them. They are very excited and passionate about their tennis, and they'll let me know at any time. So I'm learning the rules of the game, and I'm very much enjoying the culture of it as well.
Marvin, as known as you are and as popular and as powerful as you are in the business, obviously there's a couple of folks that make a whole lot of sense with you, and of course, making it a team. One of my mantras is the teamwork makes the dream work. Miss Candy is a very integral part of my life and my business and my career. And I know that Dr. Demita and Yasmin, your wife and your daughter, who is, of course, a senior at Columbus State University, talk about how they help you keep your clock moving, making your world turn.
Well, yes. My daughter, actually, she graduated. She's graduated from Columbus State. She's actually teaching. Not coaching. She's teaching in Buford school system. Okay. She's at the elementary school. She's a drama theater teacher, and she loves it. My wife is an educator, almost serving 30 years. She works for Department of Education now. They both keep me grounded. I think, when working in TV for so long, especially when you're a talent or a face out there, you get recognized a lot when you go out, and they've been very patient with me along those years to endure a lot of that. And they keep me humble. They let me know, Thursday is time to take out the trash. I don't care if you're Mr. Sportsman, get out there and do your job. So I think that's the one thing that I love about my wife and my daughter, is that they definitely keep me humble. We just got back from Disney about 2 weeks ago. My daughter was on spring break with her school system up there in Buford, and we went down there and had a good time. We're very close. We have only had one child, and so we're all really each other's really good friend. It's never a weird occasion or a down moment. We get on phone three-way all the time and talk. So yeah, those two definitely inspire me and motivate me, and I do the same for them.
That's awesome, Marvin. And, there's been, I've seen the circulation about the state championships football, and possibly Ben's going to be the long-term solution to host them. But I love the mindset from the GHSA. They do this for the kids. They don't do this for the money. But what's the mindset for football? Is that what's going to happen for next year, or is there a possibility there could be a new location for state championships?
Yeah, we're in the last contract with Mercedes-Benz right now, and so we're trying to work that out and hammer it out. Obviously, I don't think there's ever even a question or a doubt that, the majority of the people would love to go back and return to the Benz because, like you said, it's such a great environment for the kids. So many times a kid gets a chance to play in that great venue. I think, like other states do, they go to their major universities. I think another great place would be the University of Georgia or Bobby Dodd Stadium. But of course, with the landscape of college football, we know that, they're playing deep into January and February now. So it's kind of hard to find time to get on that those fields. And I know Kirby would love to have nothing more than have the GHSA on his campus for some of those big time players in the GHSA to get a free trip to come down there and check it out. I know he would love that. But, right now we're really trying to figure out what's best for just the whole state and just the whole, GHSA financially as well. The Benzes can be pretty expensive, as you guys all know. We're still entertaining Georgia State like we've done in the past. Dr. Scott has even entertained going back to a home and home and hosting the games back at home. But right now, everything's kind of on the table. We would love to stay with the Mercedes-Benz just because it's an indoor facility and it's the greatest facility for football in the state. If it's good enough for the SEC championship and bowl games and all that good stuff, and even the Falcons, it'd be great for us. So we're hoping that we can make that work.
Marvin James is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions morning show, and Marvin has a super nice job with of course, Georgia High School Athletic Association, and of course, he is over the media. Marvin, when I say these two towns or these two institutions, Warner Robins High School and Georgia Southern University, what do you say?
I say they helped build the foundation for me, not only as a student athlete, but as an individual to never give up and to never quit. As you know, being an athlete, that ball's going to drop sometimes. That ball's going to stop. You got to find something to do after you finish playing sports. And playing at Warner Robins under the legendary head coach of Robert Davis and Coach Richard Finley, Brian Way. There's so many of those great coaches that helped, mold me for that next level of playing at college football, where I played under Tim Stowers and Mike Hodges and Paul Johnson, and even Coach Russell was walking around there, still having such a huge impact in us. So I think, being able to be under the tutelage of some great men to set the example of what perseverance looks like, it was great. And so when, me leaving and finally putting football in the rear mirror as far as a participant in playing, it prepared me to say, okay, what else can I do to help this great sport? What else can I do to help be an affiliate of sports? And and that's a hard transition for a lot of people, not just guys, but women as well. When you play football or play sports all your life, it's kind of hard to transition and no longer be an active participant. But those two schools, as well as my church, First Baptist Church in Warner Robins, Georgia, they just helped build a foundation for me and help me understand that, there's life after sports and that you can continue to build for young men and women who walking in the same shoes as I am. So I love that part of it. And I just think that those two institutions, I'll forever be grateful to.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And I always appreciate all the people that have been able to invest in me. And Marvin, moving forward for the rest of this year's state championships. You got baseball hosted at several different sites. You're going to have one here in Synovus. We're excited about that. I'll be able to broadcast that for the NFHS network. So you know kind of the other locations, and do you know what classifications are in, or when do y'all decide that, if you don't know it, of where each classification is going to be playing their baseball state championships?
Well, it's kind of all over the place. People bid at the beginning of the season. Like you said, we're going to be at Synovus Park in Columbus, home of the Clingstones. We're excited about that. We're going to be at Georgia Southern. That's a bit of place that we've been, hunkered down for a while. Gwinnett Field, and then Advent Health Stadium in Rome. So we're going to be at 4 locations between May 25th and the 27th. So we're excited about that. One of the biggest things that we got going on this year is that we're hosting track and field in Athens, the University of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
A big time facility. We're not going to be all over the place this year. We're going to be, exclusively at the UGA facility, in our first year. So we're excited about what's going to be happening there. It's the first time that we're there at, the University of Georgia. We've been all over the place in Jefferson in the past, and Albany, but from May 11th through the May 14th, we're going to be there for 4 days, all classifications. And it's a beautiful facility. If you got an opportunity to go there, it's some of the, Georgia has some of the fastest, strongest athletes in track and field. And no surprise there. So you're definitely going to get a chance to see some national talent there if you get a chance to go. And soccer, where are we at soccer? We got we're in 3 different places for soccer as well. I'm kind of using my cheat sheet here. We're going to be at Duluth High School, St. Pius, and we're going to be at Upson Lee. So
Nice.
That's May 12th through the 15th. We're going to be at those 3 locations celebrating the culmination of soccer for both boys and girls. So we're excited. It's a busy time. We got lacrosse coming up as well. Gymnastics, the state championship for gymnastics is at Buford Arena on Wednesday and Friday. And then we have slow pitch softball is going down in Woodstock. This is the last year for slow pitch softball. We haven't had the numbers that we've had in the past. So, many people may not even know that we have slow pitch, but we do entertain that. But this will be the last year. That's going to be at Woodstock, and that's going to be going on Wednesday and Thursday. So it's a busy time for sports. I think our spring sports are it's the longest season, actually. Let me see. I think we have golf, too. Yeah, we have golf, and that's going to be at several different sites, but that's going to be May 18th through the 19th. So plenty of stuff going on, man. We're looking forward to the end of May to get to that dead week so we can breathe a little bit and take a break, and then enjoy the summer and then get right back into it because one of those sports starts early in August. I can't remember, but it's a lot of grass and pads popping, so we'll be out there for that.
I got to ask, Marvin, what's the thought process on having it in multiple locations for baseball and soccer? Just logistically, it makes it a lot easier and having it different locations across the state instead of having everybody in one house.
Yeah, you can imagine. I'm sure you've been to softball in Columbus, and that's a beautiful facility, and it's great for. It was designed just for that. I don't know if there's ever been a facility that's large enough to hold 5 or 6 baseball fields, with the regulations of, a 300-400 yard park. So, that's the biggest thing is that we just can't hold it. Of course, logistically, it's always great to have something like, the Coliseum where we have basketball in Macon, right. All basketball is always great for football and flag football and the Dome. Because to me, I think it's an opportunity to celebrate all of our kids equally on a equal platform, to get them on GPB TV, to get them streaming, just have everybody there to celebrate them. And I know when the times that I haven't been, which aren't very many, but the times I haven't been, I'm at home. I can go to the barbershop. Yeah, I go to the barbershop every now and then, but go to the barbershop and watching watching the games on the screen and just hearing everybody talk about all the states, all the players in the state that they haven't got a chance to ever see. When you have the individual places, we don't always get the chance to highlight them like they should. So that's one of the things that, we really can't avoid in football and soccer. It just, it's a lot to have people just sitting and waiting when you can have them all play at the same time.
Mom, and I certainly appreciate you having the opportunity to come on and share with the Sports Vision Nation, having an intimate conversation. And I don't want it to have to be, ever a situation where, there's got to be something big going on because, again, you're versatile, you're talented, you get to use your media skills. Not only that, but you get some great information out about the GHSA, and I appreciate that. You're welcome anytime on this show.
Thanks, Marvin.
Yeah, I love being in the rotation, man. I appreciate you guys. Bring out the old lefty and come in here and talk a little bit. But anytime that we can tell our story from the big budding city of metropolis of Thomaston and just share what we do for the student athletes, over 400,000 student athletes, 456 schools across the state. It's just, it's so much going on, and we're here to push them to the forefront and lead them to the frontier. So I thank you for using your platform to allow me to do so.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, you have a great rest of your morning, my friend.
Thanks, Marvin.
Yeah, man. I'm jamming.
Hey.
Here I go.
Take care. That's my guy, man.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. The Supreme Court is letting the state of Alabama get rid of one of its large black congressional districts and use a map that has one majority black district. The decision was made after the court struck down a majority black U.S. House district in Louisiana as an illegal racial gerrymander. Staying in Alabama, a Chambers County jury convicted Jasper Barringer in the 2018 stabbing of two girls in Valley. Prosecutors say he forced his way into the girls' home on Jennings Street and stabbed them. The girls survived, but Barry was found guilty as charged on counts including attempted murder and first-degree burglary. In Columbus, 3 men are on trial for killing 16-year-old Darius Bryan in 2024. Bryan's father said the murder was not a gang war type incident and that life without parole for the 3 men is the only answer that can make the loss feel easier. The trial is expected to last for 2 weeks. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Tuesday morning. We are off to an overcast and a humid start with rain showers down south across the area. You fall into Americus. Temperatures are going to be mild with readings in the 60s, and the clouds will be slow to break today as that low pressure system skirts the Gulf Coast. Early morning rain exits while remaining cloudy tonight. Temperatures near 60, and we're tracking a weak dry front arriving on Wednesday with more sun in the forecast for the remainder of the week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Hey, it's the Hubster, Gil's Auto Sales, your #1 pre-owned dealer in Georgia and Alabama. We have over 400 vehicles to choose from, like new ones and hard to find ones. Back that up with a free 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty and great financing in 6 locations. And you got the one dealership that everybody in the Valley loves, Gil's Auto Sales, celebrating 40 years. And you can always find the Hubster at Gil's on Highway 80 in good old Phoenix City, Alabama.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021.
Do you want to win a brand new car? Now's your chance. Just head on over to the Sportsvisions website and register to win a brand new Chevy Trax from Sun Chevrolet. Winner announced June 20th at 5 p.m. Must be present to win.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. That's right. Take your time. What's the rush? Hey, it's a great day for a great day, and it's Tuesday. Of course, Thrift, we are only an hour. Actually, we're less than an hour away from Hump Day, man. The next show that comes up will be in the middle of the week, and I tell you, man, it's been a pleasure to, of course, get off to a great start to their week here on this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and nothing really going on sports-wise tonight. So enjoy it. And then tomorrow and the rest of the week, we got a bunch of playoffs games. We got Brookstone Soccer going down, boys hosting Stratford to try to make it to the semifinals. We got Glenwood doubleheader against Lee Scott tomorrow. Then Thursday, the Brookstone Calvary Series starts. Central is already in the semifinals. So we still got several playoff teams still alive.
Big shout out to Marvin James. And I tell you what, Thrift, can you tell me how much of a breath of fresh air has been blown into the communications of the Georgia High School Athletic Association?
It makes a difference having someone that understands and is in media in today's landscape. You know, I emphasize that because there's people that have been in media that take on these roles, but they were in media 30 years ago. Media is not the same now. So if you don't understand how media is now, you're going to be constantly fighting it, and then you're in charge of the relationship between the GHSA, the AHSAA, and the media, and you're turning your nose up. You're talking down to people. That's just not how we do things anymore. It just isn't. And so when Marvin came in, no offense to the previous guy, but Marvin came in, and it was absolutely beautiful just to have someone to communicate. I'm not saying Marvin gives us everything we want, DJ.
No.
But he communicates and is willing to answer the phone and explains why and willing to do whatever it takes to make sure he can accommodate you. That's what you're supposed to do in that role. Not, hey, I'm powerful, I'm king. I get to decide if you're going to go. Hey, no, you're not going. I don't know who you are. You're not typical radio. You're not this. You're not that. We don't have to worry about that anymore with Marvin James.
To put it in a nutshell, it's my way or the highway. Those days are over.
Those days are over.
Hey, big shout out to Gerald Bedgood. He says he ain't gone, but he's gone.
There you go.
I tell you what, Daniela Boyington, good morning. We appreciate the fact that you have allowed us to help you get your day started. But I tell you what, Bobby Brown, and of course all the guys, from Rodney Lawrence and of course Ricky Rogers. Man, these guys. They're my heroes. They're my heroes because again they're loyal, and again we love the fact that they not only do we help get their day started, we allow them to get our day started, and it's really a pleasure to have them on board. Hey, listen, man, I know that again we are really rocking and rolling and really promoting the Brookstone and the Calvary Christian baseball playoff game. I know because it's going to be the hottest thing around here over the next several days that when they do, if they're able to get it off. But you said the rain is not going to be bad weather is not going to be a part of this equation as we approach the weekend, though, right?
No, from what I've seen, the weather should be absolutely fantastic. High 70s next couple days after today. When we get to the weekend, it's going to get up to 89. So it's going to be kind of hot heading into this weekend.
Speaking of hot and speaking of weather, no rain or snow or heat. There's one team that's protected from all of that, and they play in the confines of the Columbus Civic Center, and that's the Columbus Lions. So you could just make a professional decision when it does get hot or when it is inclement weather. That there's going to be, and again, I found out that it wasn't because of the ice that it's so cold in the building. We had Corey on the other day, and he said that the ice has been gone for 2 weeks, and it's just something in the Civic Center that they have. It's just cold, man. I don't know. They got to get something to, I don't know, it got technical. It got over my head, over my pay grade. I couldn't, but I don't know how in the hell can you have a building like that so cold when it's 70 degrees outside?
You know what, DJ? We got a lot of questions about just the way things operate at the Civic Center.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you that Corey said to me, because I shared with him, I said, hey, I don't know. I thought he was listening, and maybe he was. He just didn't, he kept a poker face. But he was like, we definitely want to make sure that, Thrift has everything he needs. And, he says you probably didn't have on your media badge.
No, definitely had on the media badge. I don't think the media badge was for sure had on. I had to learn that this has happened the second week. The first week, we didn't have badges at that point, and I had to go find some. So, but Corey's done a great job, and Roger, they have given us every resource we need to be successful. And trust me, I learned my lesson now. Lee Snow gave me a wristband that says I can go anywhere I want in the Civic Center. So from now on, Lee took care of me, so thank you.
And who is Lee Snow?
Lee Snow is the social media director for Columbus Lions. So all the posts you see on their Instagram and Facebook, Lee Snow and his Creative South company, along with a guy by the name of Big Mike, are the ones that make the graphics and all that stuff. So we appreciate Lee Snow, but maybe one day we can have on someone from the Civic Center, and we can just have a whole conversation about the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, the understandings of just how that place works and why they do what they do.
Once upon a time, I had a great relationship with Dale Hester, who was just a legendary general manager of the Columbus Civic Center back in the day. And again, I'm sure that they have some leaders down there that we'd be more than welcome to have on, because again, it's not our job to paint pictures for them to be bad guys. That's not what it's all about. And again, that's doomed for hell. If you're thinking, if they want to be Billy Badasses, they just want to make sure that the people are safe. And of course, they abide by the rules and regulations of the building. And of course, all the people that are vendors or that are clients of that Columbus Civic Center, you know what? They want to have a wonderful experience. And I'm sure that, we just kind of, one of those situations, man, hey, look, caught you at the wrong time at the wrong day.
Yeah. And it happens. And I'll tell you that. And most of the staff there are very, very accommodating and very sweet and nice, and especially the ladies that are right there in between the aisles and stuff. They're directing traffic and they're cheering on the lines. I love every second.
I just hope like hell now, Thrift, when you're coming in the building, everybody's not pointing at you, and they kind of go,
that's him. He's gonna blast us. Don't say nothing. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna have my phone out just like this, like I'm about to start recording it, DJ. The biggest question I will have before we go to our next guest is the temperature thing. I love to know why it has to be so cold in there all the time.
Absolutely. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him up. His name is Mitchell Holt. He's a national champion. Flag football. You got him?
Yes, we got him.
We got him? Hey, listen. Good morning, Coach. Congratulations. Hey, man, listen, I don't know. I think that when you win a national championship, they should have a parade for you. I mean, that's over and beyond. Winning a state championship is wonderful. Winning a region championship is awesome. But a national championship, Coach? Come on. Good morning.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun the past couple of years, and getting that recognition is good for our team and our school and our community. So I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
Good deal. Coach Mitchell Holt is here with us, and again, Coach, I wanted to bring you on not only to once again congratulate you, but you have been, and a wonderful honor has been bestowed upon you guys, and you guys getting invited to come out to the West Coast. And I want you to tell us all about it. We got a big fundraiser. We got to help you. We got to rally support, because this has to happen, and it can only happen with the help of all the folks that are in the sound of my voice, all the Sportsvisions Nation, and more. We got to get together. But let's start at the top first of all, Coach, and tell us what's going on and what's going to be happening here in September.
All right, we're kind of limited on the details we can give because Max Preps and iFlag are actually going to release a lot more information. But we've been invited to Chula Vista, California in September to play in a invitational tournament hosted by Max Preps and iFlag. It'll be played at the Olympic training facility down there. It's going to be 16 teams from across the country, probably more West Coast teams than anything. And, we're just honored to be included in that conversation and have that invitation. We're actually, MMBL is a nonprofit organization. They're hosting a drawdown to benefit us. And that'll take place in June. It'll take place June the 20th. And our parents are currently selling tickets through that nonprofit for that event. We're looking at taking around 21 of our students out there, both managers and players and our coaching staff. And we're trying to raise money to help offset that cost because, as you know, flights, I'm glad we booked them when we did because the price of fuel's gone up a lot since then. But we've got our flights booked, and now we just got to, to fund it. And we've had a lot of people reach out. The Atlanta Falcons have reached out and are willing to help us. But we're not quite there. And, if we have a good showing at this event to benefit us through MMBL, it'll go a long way to helping these parents raise that money. And the tickets are $100. It's a reverse auction, and there'll be over $10,000 in prizes given away through the nonprofit. And the girls receive $50 towards their allotted amount they need to raise per ticket sold. So if they sell 10 tickets, that's $500 towards what they agreed to raise. So we're doing this, and if it goes well, hopefully we don't have to do any more fundraising. But we're taking donations, just straight up donations. We're taking, if you want to donate through the drawdown through MMBL, that's another way to contribute because all the money goes to the same place, and that's letting us all, but getting these young ladies the opportunity to head out west and have a once in a lifetime experience.
Coach, if you could draw down, what is that? What does that mean?
It's a reverse auction, so there'll be 400 tickets in the drawdown, and basically you want to be the last ticket drawn instead of the first ticket drawn. And there's prizes that'll be given away throughout the night. We have a silent auction, a lot of signed memorabilia and things from former players at Georgia and Alabama and Auburn. We've got an autographed guitar by Riley Green, the country music artist, and we got a few things like that are just going to be a silent auction off to the side. That'll also everything's being donated to us, so all that'll be funds that go straight to the trip. And what's tough is you still have to raise money for your season, so you can't go ask those same people. You still got to have your season, but you don't pass up on a trip like this. And Max Prep's committed to us that, I told him if we're able to raise the funds to come out there, could we, be invited the following year and the next year in Orlando. So that'll be a lot easier to raise money for driving down to Orlando than flying into San Diego. So,
Coach, is there a number or is there a contact information that we can, because we can post and put up and let people know? Because again, even if they're seeing it now, again, I want to be able to give them a phone number or email address or both. I mean, can you do that now?
Yeah, I can. They can reach out to reddevilflag@gmail.com. It's on our social media as well. And I can share it with y'all so y'all can post the tickets. And I can put some more contact information there. With it being, it's not through the school. With it being a raffle, it's through this nonprofit MMBL. So we can point you in the right direction that way, and get you in touch with some of the parents and stuff that are selling it because. Like I said, it's not through the school. In Alabama, schools are not allowed to have raffles. So it has to be through a nonprofit, and they're doing it through this nonprofit to benefit our program.
Coach, I think it's you're busy as hell. You teach, you coach, you drive the bus or bus route. I mean, what is it that don't you do?
I rest a lot of the times. Cut my own grass. That don't get done very often. There's a few things that I don't do. It's a blessing to be busy though, and to be surrounded by great people makes it more enjoyable. Our softball team just won their 5th consecutive region championship yesterday, so luckily we don't have to drive back up there today to try to get in as the number 2 seed, and that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of new faces on our varsity. Around 5 rookies on our varsity, and then we took some lumps throughout the year, but we were able to win our 5th area.
I tell you what, every time we start going good, technology comes in and wipes us out. And of course, he went away, and hopefully we'll get him back to finish up. But there he is.
Coach, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
You were talking about your softball program. I was literally just about to ask about that. Able to win another area championship. What's next moving forward? I know some of the brackets are already out and some of the other classifications are already playing now, regionals or sectional, excuse me. What's coming up next for you, and when do y'all play again?
Well, 4 teams out of the 8 punched their ticket yesterday to Oxford for the state tournament. So we'll head up there and play next Wednesday and Thursday. You've got to win 2 on day 1 on Wednesday to play in the Final Four on day 2. So we'll head up there with a with a good group of kids that worked really hard, and we'll enjoy this last week of practice and go up there and see what we can do. We've been fortunate enough to be up there the past 4 years, and we've gone 0-2, and we've made the Final Four. So this team's the names have definitely changed, but the standard hadn't, and this team will have the same opportunity to finish the same way the last four have, with a chance to be at the state tournament. That's all you can ask for.
Coach Mitchell Holt is, of course, our guest on the Sports Visions morning show. Did we lose him again? I believe we did. But hopefully we'll get him back. But I was going to just say to the folks that they know the drill on this show. If they have a situation, Coach, glad we got you back. But I wanted to have opportunity for you to express to the folks out there again. They know of all this national acclaim here recently in the last couple of years and these state championships. But where did you grow up? Where did you cut your teeth? Who poured into you?
Central did. Phoenix City did. It's been a joy to teach here. It's my 22nd year teaching here and coaching here for most of them. And, I'm having the opportunity to coach a lot of my friends' kids. And, the granddads that coached us are now enjoying watching their granddaughters play. And it's a full circle moment. The only time I lived away from here was when I went to Jacksonville State. And that's where outside of the boys club in the 80s and Jacksonville State in the early 2000s playing flag football, that's where we got our start. And you just never know when your past experiences are going to come back to be a blessing later on. So I'm thankful for everybody who poured into me and gave me an opportunity. And hopefully we're doing the same with these young ladies and the 2 or 3 generations, away from the ones who poured into us.
What's summer looking like for flag football? When do you get that up and running and everything else once softball ends?
Yeah, we're going to have tryouts June 9th, 10th, and 11th. We've got a lot of interest, so we'll have our tryouts the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and then we'll practice 4 days a week at 7:30 in the morning for the remainder of the summer, pretty much, and try to beat the heat. And then we'll start our season. We've got a jamboree mid-August, and then we actually the HSA is having us play Montgomery Catholic as part of the kickoff classic. We'll actually play Montgomery Catholic at 4:15 the same day that our guys play Thompson. So it'll be a kind of a doubleheader. It'll be a pretty cool experience.
Coach Mitchell Holt is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions morning show, and Coach is, of course, he's come on to. I asked him to come on to tell us all about, of course, this incredible opportunity that he and his team has, his flag football team has, and they have a fundraiser. They're trying to buy plane tickets and all that stuff. And for those of you who know, those round trip tickets to West Coast, every bit of $600. Probably more than that now. But they need to raise some monies to go out and. Coach, are they going to put you up? Do you need money for hotels as well?
Yeah, we've last week we got the Atlanta Falcons reached out and they made a donation that was a tremendous help. And Max Preps is trying to give us a little bit for the hotels and stuff, but we're looking at it, costing around $30,000 to take. We're going out there for 4 nights, Wednesday through Sunday, and plane tickets are right at $600, and then hotels and things like that and food. And, we're trying to raise right around 30. So any amount helps. And if you, participate in this drawdown, half of your ticket goes to help the young lady that you buy it from, towards their allotted, fee that we had to come up with. So, I'll post on social media and share it with you guys, and y'all can blast it out. And if anybody's got any questions, we'll throw our email on there, and we can, like I said, we can take donations, or you can do drawdown or whatever you prefer to do, but anything's appreciated.
Now, Coach, for folks like me that's old school, and again, I know you have this QR code, and you guys have all of these different ways of payment and all that. But I just like putting palm to palm.
Right.
For those folks that can do it, that you do give them that QR code or whatever it is that you guys in that technology world talk about. But everybody else, if they want to come put palm to palm cash, how can they do? They just show up? Meet you somewhere, come to your practice? Well, how do they do that?
Yeah, it'll just be, they can reach out via email or one of our parents if they know any of them, and they can get with them. We can, they've taken payment, Venmo and Cash App, and they also cash in hand.
Yeah.
The QR code just allows us to put a lot more information instead of piling it all on a ticket. You can scan the QR code and get a lot more details, and it's a kind of a living document we can add to it and make changes as need be. But yeah, the girls still taking cash, check, or whatever they need to do to raise that money. So, I can put them in touch with somebody if they email us we can put them in touch with, a young lady that needs to sell some more tickets and things like that. So that'll be the best way to do it.
Give that email once again, Coach.
Yes, Red Devil Flag, REDDEVIL flag @gmail.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Coach, we appreciate you, man. Is there anything else that you want to say to the community out there?
No, I just appreciate the support. For flag football, West Georgia, East Alabama is kind of the mecca in the Southeast. There's been a lot of state championships won around here, and it's just a blessing to be part of it.
Good deal. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a national championship flag football coach from the Central Red Devils, Coach Mitchell Holt. Coach, thank you so much and have a great rest of your morning.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, we'll catch up real soon. That's hot, man.
That's Mr. Holt.
Yes, him.
Got a hot program, no doubt.
Yep. Those kids going to the West Coast too, man. That's a wonderful experience. I'm sure that this will be the first opportunity for some of them young ladies to get on a plane. So there's a lot to go along with, everything that's going to happen with this experience.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And if you want to donate, all you got to do is what he said, QR code, and email him, and be able to go out there and help these young ladies be able to achieve that.
All right, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
I need you now more than ever. Would you put my heart back together?
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
It's Faith and Family Day at the Columbus Lions next home game. Sunday, May 17th, as the Lions take on the Peach State Cats. Kickoff is at 4 p.m., so bring your family, your friends, and your church group for a special day. The official halftime show artist is Leandria Johnson, bringing her power, soul, and ministry to the field. Plus, at the end of the third quarter, one lucky person will get a chance to kick a field goal to win $8,000. Register for your chance to kick at the merchandise booth at the Civic Center. It's Faith and Family Day at the Columbus Civic Center for the Columbus Lions, Sunday, May 17th.
Attorney advertising. Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
You know there's people out here getting into accidents and not calling nobody. I had a friend that got into an accident. I asked him, was he hurt? He told me in pain. He told me everybody in pain. My mom was in the car. My wife was in the car. I said, you ain't go to the hospital? I said, get up now, go to the hospital, and call Top Dog Law. Exactly what happened. Told me he was on the expressway driving. A car came behind him, tried to go around him, sideswiped him, pinned him into another car. Then the car kept going. Cops had to get him. They caught him down the line, but they caught him. And you ain't think about calling Top Dog Law? Call now. Accidents are real. They happen. Get into an accident and make the call. Top Dog Law.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only in 523.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-976-5907 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-976-5907. That's 800-976-5907. What do you have to lose? Call 800-976-5907. Again, 800-976-5907.
Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, this Michael Jackson thing is just not a fly-by-night thing with me, man. I'm still excited. I know the movie came out a couple of weeks ago, and I've seen it twice. And the music, it lives on and on and on. And I just get giddy, man, when I hear it. Michael Jackson is a phenomenon.
It is, man. And you know what's crazy? Just like, remember The Last Dance that came out during COVID, talking about Michael Jordan, got everyone, all the young people, like, he's a GOAT, he's a GOAT, he's a GOAT. That's what this movie has done now, DJ. When I was at Dipsy's last night, they probably played 6 Michael Jackson songs in a row. Kids were dancing. Kids knew the song.
Wow.
These are timeless, man. I don't care what you say. He is always going to be the GOAT, and there ain't never going to be another Michael.
Never, ever, 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 ever. Hey, man, big shout out to, of course, Mitchell Holt. And so he's doing some tremendous work over with the Central Red Devils flag football program and softball program. And he's been working diligently with these young ladies, man, and we got to definitely help them get out to California. He says it costs they got to raise about $30,000. But great thing about it, he said the Atlanta Falcons definitely helped write a nice check to donate to the cause, and again some other folks. But hey, look, we got to do our part, and again, I'm looking forward. I'm going to get me one of those tickets because again, I'm not only going to contribute to the cause, but the fact of the matter is that he may mention that we could win a lot of money. Didn't he say something about that?
Yeah, $1,000 for the kick.
No, I'm talking about the Central. The kick you talking about? You're thinking about the Lions.
Yeah, we were talking about the Lions off air, and I'm talking about the churches having a chance to win $1,000 and the $8,000 kick.
Man, people are just giving you an opportunity. Yeah, all of this. That's great.
But you're right, Mitchell Holt, you get a chance to win some money. And the main thing is you're helping, and you brought it up, DJ, you're helping a young girl maybe never been on a plane before, never been outside of the state before, be able to do something that they may never do again. And I think that's really awesome, man. And then they get to be showcased across the country about how great a football team they've been.
Absolutely. And also big shout out to Jack Patterson. He and his beautiful baby girl was on with us this morning and doing his sports, bit there, of course, giving us that nice hit. Adrian Lyles, man, congratulations to Coach Adrian Lyles, who has, of course, entered into the Central Red Devil Sports Hall of Fame after, of course, playing football for Central, growing up in Phoenix City, going to Alabama A&M, having a wonderful opportunity there, and, of course, to have been in coaching 22 years, 20 of those years with the Central Red Devils. So, and again, the lives that he's touched, when I made the All-Star, All-Americans that he has been able to touch as far as coaching and to help them get to the next level and to do all of that and stay in the background, because again, this is a selfish guy that those kids he could very easily say, hey, look, these are the people that I coached. None of that. None of that.
Absolutely. I completely 100% agree with you, DJ. And I'm glad that he's able to get in. I'm happy for all the award winners, but I just love that he cares more about giving back and to help the next generation. And I'll tell you this, man. Shout out Adrian Lyles. Shout out Mitchell Holt. Shout out to Rajetta Williams. Shout out to the Coach Kehoe, the baseball coach, all the coaches in the community over there that is welcoming and wants to be talked about and covered and open arms. Every school's got some bad apples and stuff like that, but I really am proud of what Mitchell Holt's been able to accomplish, and I'm proud of what Adrian Lyles been able to accomplish. I know he made some jokes about we want to get this reestablished. We all understand, and just looking forward to keep showcasing all these wonderful athletes around our area.
Big shout out to Coach Flournoy, the new football coach over there. I tell you, what's a new attitude? It's a new sheriff in town, and I guess this guy here, some coaches, believe in social media. Some coaches believe in having exposure for the programs, and others don't.
Yeah.
Well, thank God we got Coach Flournoy, so now we can definitely get a little bit closer and give you more information about your Central Red Devils.
Exactly right. And the thing is, the whole purpose of doing what we do, DJ, is promote student athletes. And I know everybody gets territorial about their stuff. Everybody, no, we're all working together. Just like RBL and TVM cover, we cover your own Sports Visions, broadcast from Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We're all doing one thing. We're covering the student athletes. It's not competition with one another. And I never understood that at all. And when we get away from that mindset, guess what? Who wins? The student athlete, the whole reason people are doing this stuff.
Very well said, Thrift. I tell you what, man, you know what? You sound like one of my disciples, man.
DJ, when you've been around someone, can you believe this? 2019, brother.
2019.
7 years.
Wow.
When I walked into not this studio over there, I had a list I just printed off saying, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And DJ looked at the list. He looked at Dale and said, listen, man, we've got a lot of guys and women come this same attitude. You got to be able to show it. And I think I've been able to do that, DJ, over all these years. And I appreciate that opportunity for allowing me to grow as a broadcaster and do this.
I was just telling Richard the other day that I was looking and thumbing. I always thumb through my pictures and all. And I saw some of those pictures from back, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Man, it was unbelievable. You were green as green could be. Well, you weren't totally green because you had been around, radio and
DJ. First Georgia game, I showed up 30 minutes before the game, and my eyes are this big. And DJ, you were like, brother, you got to get here 3 hours. You ain't even got the experience. You talking about green? I had no idea, DJ, none. And I'm glad I've been able to go through all those trials and tribulations, and it's been fun, man. And we're going to continue to grow, and that's what I hope everyone understands. You got it. I did an interview yesterday, real quick, DJ.
Yeah.
And it was sitting with the ADs, and he said, someone told me you're going to have a mentor in your life that makes a difference. And he's like, man, what are we talking about? I'm 34 years old and I hadn't had a mentor. And then he said his 35th birthday and his first year becoming assistant AD, he finally met his mentor and the guy that's really changed his life. And now he's become athletic director. And he says, I do believe there's people going to come in your life that help you grow. And I appreciate you being in my life, DJ.
Hey, man, absolutely. Again, it's like a football coach with talent. Again, he might have a kid that's a little rough around the edges and he just needs a little direction.
Shape and
my
mold.
thing is, hey, look, I'm not going to be yelling and screaming. And I don't, and I tell you this all the time, Thrift. I'm telling you what I did. I'm telling you what made it for me. I'm not telling you what to do, how to do it. And,
Right.
We have a million conversations. And I always say, well,
1,000,001.
try this or what about that?
Right.
I don't say you need to do this.
No.
Some people that, no. That's not my style.
That's not how you become a mentor of someone.
Yeah.
Because that's how you turn someone off, DJ.
Right. Because sometimes, again, as the old adage says, the baby has to, touch the hot furnace and see that it's hot.
Learn.
Sometimes you have to let them do that so that they'll know and understand and appreciate.
You don't know how many times DJ's done, aha. And when I come in here, I'm like, I told DJ, you were right. And you're like, brother, there's a reason why I've been living on this earth for what, 64 years?
64 years, brother.
Unbelievable,
And
man.
I got hopefully a whole hell of a lot more. Me and Miss Candy. Miss Candy said we got at least 20 more years.
Listen, no, I told my granddad, you ain't old till you're 100. So you got to at least get to that, DJ.
Absolutely. Hey, man, what a great day. What a great show. And, of course, thanks to you for listening and tuning in out there. You hear the music. You know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. On behalf of Thrift Barringer, I'm DJ Jones reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I need you in the morning, but I need you now. Yeah. I find you, I give you all you need. I know what you like.